months long journey has finally boiled down to this, folks. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching the playoffs of the eISL Season 2 brought to you by Nordwin Gaming. My name is Fixus. I'm going to be your host, joined along with TT. TT, इतने दिनों बाद फिर से हमारी हो चुकी है वापसी और हमारे साथ जुड़े हैं 6 क्लब्स एंड वी आर फाइनली गोइंग टू क्राउन आवर चैंपियंस. तो कितने एक्साइटेड हैं आप?
बहुत ज्यादा, क्योंकि इतने दिन से जिस तरीके का एक्शन हम लोगों को देखने के लिए मिला था, उसके बाद फिल्टर होके टॉप क्लब टॉप 6 क्लब्स हम लोगों को मिल चुका है. तो इससे ज्यादा एक्साइटमेंट और क्या ही हो सकता है, क्योंकि अभी देखिए जो फॉर्मेट है उसमें भी हम लोग को बहुत सारा ट्विस्ट देखने के लिए मिला है. जो पॉइंट्स टेबल के टॉप 8 क्लब्स है वो ऑलरेडी सेमीफाइनल पे है, और जो बाकी के क्लब्स है, जो 4 क्लब्स रहने वाले हैं लाइक थर्ड, फोर्थ, फिफ्थ एंड सिक्स, वो एक दूसरे के खिलाफ जाने वाला है और उनमें से जो जीतेंगे वो सेमीफाइनल में जाएंगे. सो यानी कि इंटरेस्टिंग बहुत ज्यादा हो चुका है ये पूरा सिनेरियो.
You know what? Before we have the entire evening started, let's take a quick look at the format for all our new viewers, right? Because they've been waiting for this. Some of them have come in and tuned in just recently. So we begun from the league stages that were from 28th of February, and we were on a journey to find out our top 6 clubs that make it to the playoffs. So finally, it's the 6th of May, and we are here. Amongst the 6 clubs, they're going to be fighting it out amongst each other, and only one shall remain who gets to be the crowned champions of this season. And not just that, they will also represent the country in the FGS play tournament. So that is going to happen. Along with that, we have some whooping prize pool which will be up for you guys in just a wee while, especially considering how these clubs have been fighting it out amongst each other. It's 33 lakhs on the line. The first position club gets 4.5 lakhs. The second position gets 2 lakh rupees. The third and fourth, they share 75,000 respectively each. And looking at the prize pool, yeah, that's there. But you know what these players are more interested for is the bragging rights to be called the best in the country and to represent the Indian flag abroad in the FGS tournament. But before we get into all these drama, let's take a quick look at the leaderboard. What really happened, TT, during the league stages? Who were on top? Who barely qualified? Run me down through with this.
देखिए, हम लोग शुरुआत से ही एफसी गोवा जो है वो एक तरफा डोमिनेट कर ही रही थी, और वो आखिर तक भी कंटिन्यू रहा, और एक भी मैच वो हारे नहीं थे इस पूरे थ्रू आउट द ग्रुप स्टेज. वो 10 मैचेस में 9 मैचेस जीत के, एक ड्रॉ करके विद 28 पॉइंट्स एकदम टॉप पे फिनिश किए. उसके बाद ही थे द मैजिकल 2 प्लेयर्स नॉर्थ ईस्ट यूनाइटेड की तरफ से, जिन्होंने 10 गेम्स खेले. हाँ, थोड़े बहुत गेम्स जो है वो के बाहर गए, जो कि सिर्फ 2 ही गेम्स थे, और एक कहीं ना कहीं जो है वो हार भी उनको मिला. तो 23 पॉइंट्स के साथ वो सेकंड पोजीशन पे खत्म किए. और टॉप 6 की अगर बात किया जाए तो हम लोग को मुंबई सिटी एफसी, बेंगलुरु एफसी, हैदराबाद एफसी, एंड अगर हम लोग इधर बात करें केरला ब्लास्टर्स एफसी की, तो ये है वो क्लब जिनको हम लोग शायद ग्रुप स्टेज के थोड़ा बहुत बाहर तो नहीं बढ़ा कह सकते, उनके लिए बहुत ज्यादा मुश्किल लग रहा था, लेकिन आखिरी डे पे जो कमबैक उनके तरफ से आया जस्ट लाजवाब था.
Yeah, that was unbelievable. But before we have the entire day started, let's take a quick look at the schedule, especially take a look at the matches that we have lined up for you. And we're going to start things off with the 2 knockout matches. First off, we're going with Bengaluru FC taking on Hyderabad FC, and we know this is going to be an absolute banger. And just when you think you had enough, then we have Mumbai City FC taking on Kerala Blasters FC. And then we have for the third game, whoever wins the match number 1, they go on to face FC Goa. And that is going to be amazing because FC Goa, they're still undefeated. And then the fourth matchup that we have lined up for you, we've got Northeast United FC taking on the winner of whoever wins between Mumbai City FC and Kerala Blasters FC. And it has been quite a journey, to be honest. And the top 2 clubs, likewise FC Goa and Northeast United FC, have that slight advantage. They have that little bit of a cushion. They go on, chill, relax, and wait who gets to be their opponents. And coming back, the first matchup that we have lined up for you, Bengaluru FC and Hyderabad FC, this is going to be an absolute roller coaster of emotions. Why? Because the last time these two teams faced off in the 1st of April, we had CJ besting Genocid. He took him down 1-0. But then in the co-op game, that is where the entire drama occurred, right? Bengaluru FC were 3-0 up until that 80th minute, and then suddenly Hyderabad FC out of nowhere they score 3 goals and draw it, and then Varsi goes on to defeat Shagnik, and that is where they had to share points. Now today I think they would want to settle with the winner. Today both these clubs have come with eyes to take vengeance and to have one decisive winner who goes on to face FC Goa. So let's find out what the matchups are going to be. Who's going to face against who in the first game? That is going to be CJ taking on
Wow.
Genocid. And then for game number 3, we have the two brothers Shagnik and Varsi, who used to play with each other in the previous season of eISL, and another time they are going to face off against each other. In between, of course, we'll have that co-op. But TT, अगर पूछा जाए पलड़ा किसका भारी है तो आप क्या कहेंगे?
आई थिंक देखिए ये कहना बहुत टफ है कि पल्ला किसका भारी रहेगा, क्योंकि इस पूरे सिनारियो के अंदर हम लोग अगर लाइक रिसेंट फॉर्म की बात करें तो रिसेंट फॉर्म दोनों ही क्लब्स का कहने के 50-50 रहा है। तो आखिर में आते हैं जैसे कि साग्निक एंड सीजे की अगर बात करें वो तो 25 से दिखाते हैं। साग्निक भी कहने की काइंड ऑफ कमबैक करते हुए दिखे हैं, जो कि बीच में थोड़ा सा डाउन गया था उनका फॉर्म। बट ऑन द अदर हैंड अगर हम लोग देखें तो सेम विद जेनेसिड एज वेल, क्योंकि वॉर्सी तो बार-बार आके क्लच कर रहे थे। क्लच करने की जरूरत क्यों हो रहा था? क्योंकि जेनेसिड का थोड़ा हल्का-फुल्का जा रहा था गेम, बट जेनेसिड आखिर में आते-आते वो भी कम बैक कर चुके हैं। सो ये तो दोनों जाइंट्स के बीच में एक टक्कर जैसा हो जाएगा, और इस पे क्या रिजल्ट आएगा लाइक मेरे लिए प्रेडिक्ट करना बहुत टफ है।
You know what? Amidst all this, there's been something that we've been hiding for you. We've got all these players playing together at the LAN, and they're already all riled up. And along with that, we have some very special person, Suyash, who's going to be waiting for us on the other side. So Suyash, tell me what's the atmosphere inside the room?
We have India number 1 and India number 2 here with us. Guys, Sid, Jenna and Charanjot. I'll start with you, Sid. In the group stages, right, you had a great run. Of course, the 3-0 BFC was up against you in that game. And then you came back and made it 3-3. Is that something that's going to play in your mind as you come into this encounter?
Not really, because we don't want to trail by 3 goals again. We want to get off to a good start, but hopefully we'll have a good game.
CJ, how well do you know his game?
I think both of us know each other's games pretty well. We have played each other a lot in many tournaments, and we are teammates in the national team as well. So yeah, I know his game pretty well, but he knows mine as well.
Okay, Sid, what was the logic behind you going up against CJ in the first game? Can you talk us through that?
I mean, this is a knockout tie. Whoever loses goes home, and CJ is obviously one of the best players in Asia. So I wanted to take the responsibility, and hopefully, like I said, we'll have a good game.
CJ, do you take that as a compliment, the fact that he wants to be up against you in the first game?
Yeah, I do take that as a compliment, but similarly, like I went first because he is going first, so it's a compliment for him as well. So yeah, it goes both ways.
Right. Last question. Your respective teammates were teammates last season as well. उनको भाई बोलते हैं. Have they told anything to you about going up against each other?
I think it's up to them. Like they know their game as well. Like we do each other's. So like depends on them how they perform.
Right. I wish we could get them as well. Maybe in due course of time. But guys, it is being streamed live to you, of course, on the eISL platforms. We have the Indian Super League YouTube channel and eISL Gaming. You can watch it live on the Hyderabad FC and BFC YouTube channels as well. It's going to be a cracker. Back to you, Fixes and TT in the studio.
All right. Both these players have that mutual respect, respective to each other, and they've acknowledged that, they're going to come back and do whatever needs to be done to win this game. Because like we said, right, it's a knockout match. Whoever loses this one says goodbye and has to practice maybe for the next season. So that is definitely going to be there. But Genocid and CJ, this has happened in the past, TT. It was a high ante matchup, and then we saw CJ just edging out with that one goal. Do you think today is going to be a different story?
मे बी हो सकता है, बट मुझे लगता है देखिए इधर सब कुछ डिपेंड करेगा गेम के मोमेंटम के ऊपर, क्योंकि देखिए प्रेशर तो काफ़ी ज़्यादा है और दोनों ही प्लेयर जो हैं वो इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे खेल चुके हैं। तो वो प्रेशर इनके ऊपर ज़्यादा कुछ जो है वो इफ़ेक्ट करेगा मुझे लग नहीं रहा। तो
राइट।
मुझे लगता है कि मेनली उनका जो स्ट्रैटेजी प्लानिंग है, फॉर्मेशन है, जैसे कि दोनों ही दोनों के गेम्स को जानते हैं। जो कुछ न्यू कर पाएँगे और वो भी विदाउट एनी गलती, आई थिंक मुझे लगता है कि उनके पास एक एक्स्ट्रा एडवांटेज रहेगा। क्योंकि जब आप न्यू करने जाते हो कुछ, उस टाइम पे गलती होने के भी चांसेस रहते हैं। सो लेट्स सी लाइक क्या होता है, और मुझे तो लगता है सबसे ज़्यादा ज़रूरी आज यही होगा जेनेसिड के लिए स्पेशली, कि जेनेसिड जो है वो एकदम प्रॉपर अटैक पे जाके खेले। क्योंकि हम लोग इसके पहले अगर सीजे के खिलाफ लाइक सीजे को अगर हम लोग उनको हाई भी प्लेयर्स हैं जैसे कि शुभम हो, फिर सैकी के खिलाफ वो थोड़ा बहुत प्रेशर में थे एक टाइम के लिए लाइक ग्रुप स्टेज पे।
राइट।
तो वो दोनों ही बहुत ज़्यादा अटैक करके खेल रहे थे। तो ये जेनेसिड के लिए एक अच्छा पॉइंट हो सकता है लाइक अगर वो कॉन्स्टेंटली अटैक करेंगे तो ऑब्वियसली डिफेंस को भी सही रखेंगे।
No, India number one against India number two. That's the matchup that we're talking about. And yeah, I mean, to be honest, this time, a lot of players did have some issues in the past where, they were playing online. So there were few internet issues and everything has been resorted. Everybody is going to be facing each other while they are battling. So, and then again, this is another discussion that really comes up that Bengaluru FC is a very strong club when it comes to those LAN matches, right? Shagnik,
Yeah.
he's got that experience. Varsi also, and Genocide as well. So four of them very well equipped, very well aware of how the pressure gets to be, because that room we have two air conditioners on. But I'm telling you, the moment you get in there after 30 minutes, it's going to be humid, it's going to be sweaty, because all four of them, everybody would be tryharding. Call it ratting it out, call it sweating it out. It's all going to be there. But talking about, what cards they're going to be using, of course, they have those unlocked accounts. They have access to all the major OP cards, and we have
Hmm.
had a few new releases. I did have a quick chat with the players, and the players are like, "No, we're not going to take any risks. We are going to go with the tried and tested players, and we are not going to, get those new team of the season, the community team of the season cards anymore." So a lot of good cards were there, of course, that Erling Haaland, and we had Mo Salah also. But regardless,
Hmm.
talking about the playing styles, I think this is where we really need to start discussing. Charanjot is quite adaptive, and similarly can be the same for Genocide also. Both of them are very well skilled dribblers. We have seen them go
Hmm.
in inside the box, perform that skill move, and get in. But when it comes down to, when it boils down to besting each other in a 1v1, do you think Genocide has come prepared to face off CJ tonight?
उनको आना ही होगा लाइक इसके बाद और कोई चांस नहीं है, कोई सेकंड ऑप्शन नहीं है। सो उनको प्रिपेयर होके आना है, एंड आई थिंक वो एक-दूसरे के गेम को बहुत अच्छे से जानते हैं, क्योंकि पिछले साल भी अगर देखा जाए, ई-नेशंस पे वो दोनों ही गए थे खेलने के लिए। सो
Right.
कहीं न कहीं जो है दोनों एक-दूसरे को बहुत क्लोज़ली जानते हैं, और नॉट ओनली दैट लाइक अगर हम लोग देखें तो इस पूरे सीज़न के अंदर हर एक का क्लब का 10 गेम्स है। तो अगर कोई बैठ के देखे होंगे, जो कि फॉर श्योर ये क्रिकेट से वो देखे होंगे ओपोनेंट के गेम्स, तो उससे बहुत कुछ उनको पता चला होगा। सो उसका तो प्रॉपर आउटकम देखने के लिए मिलेगा, और ये अभी के लिए तो लाइक सबसे बड़ा स्टेज है, सो प्रिपेयर होके तो आना ही होगा।
Yeah, I mean, a lot is on the line, right? But before we have this matchup beginning and get it started for you guys, let's take a quick look at a head-to-head start between CJ and Genesis. How have they fared off during the entire campaign of eISL? So season 2. So of course you can see, CJ has got the better stats out of Genesis, but can't really disregard Genesis, because once this man starts exploding, then there is no stopping him. I think this is going to be again a very tight game. You've seen CJ out of all the games that he played. He has
हुँ।
won 8 individual matches out of 10, and he scored 30 goals. One of the highest goal scoring clubs we've got, Bengaluru FC. Then when you take a look at Genesis, out of 10, he's won 6, and he has scored 20 goals. So this is where you could say that, yeah, CJ coming into this matchup is going to be one of the favorites, and of course for all the right reasons, because he did manage to beat Genesis in the past in the league stages when both these clubs went head to head. But today the atmosphere is different, the stakes are higher than ever, both these clubs are fighting for survival, so anything is possible tonight.
या कुछ भी हो सकता है, लेकिन अगर बात किया जाए आज के दिन की, तो जेनेसिड एंड सीजे, देखिए सीजे की अगर बात करें स्पेशली, सीजे को मैं जितना अभी तक देखा है उस हिसाब से मुझे लगता है कि सीजे के खिलाफ अगर आप शुरुआती में लीड ले सको, और उसके बाद आप हाई प्रेस पे खेलो, मे बी आप सीजे को थोड़ा-सा कुछ टाइम के लिए रोक सकते हो, क्योंकि सीजे को अगर आप एक गोल, वो होता है ना कि एक शेर के मुँह में अगर खून लग जाता है तो वो शिकार करता रहता है, सीजे वैसा ही है। अगर उनको एक गोल मिलेगा वो दूसरे के लिए जाएँगे, दूसरा मिलेगा तीसरे के लिए जाएँगे। लेकिन अगर आप उनको प्रेशराइज़ कर सकते हो, देन वो कहने की थोड़ा बहुत अपने गेम का जो मेन स्टाइल है उससे हट जाते हैं। जिसकी वजह से आपको एक मौका मिल सकता है, जो कि जेनेसिड बहुत अच्छे से जानते हैं। क्योंकि पिछले गेम की अगर बात करें, उसपे सिर्फ जो स्कोर लाइन था 1-0 था, और सीजे के खिलाफ आप सीजे को 1 गोल से रोक रहे हो, लाइक ये भी एक बहुत बड़ी बात है। एंड बहुत लास्ट टाइम पे आई थिंक हम लोगों को एंडिंग के टाइम में आके वो गोल देखने के लिए मिला था। कोई भी तरफ वो गेम जा सकता था। सिर्फ एक गोल के डिफरेंस की वजह से हम लोग को रिजल्ट मिला है। तो आज देखिए नॉकआउट स्टेज है, आखिरी मौका है। हो सकता है कि वो गोल जेनेसिड की तरफ से भी आए।
you know a- Anything could really happen, right? And we've been constantly harping about both these clubs that have gone against each other in the past, and let's take a look at the scoreline that was in the previous encounter. So let's take a look, because it's kind of very obvious, because if you look at Bengaluru FC, they've scored 80 goals, and then Hyderabad FC, they've
हुँ।
scored 56. And looking at the points, right, it's 20 and 14. Now, this is again one of those stats that had to be brought up. I really want to see how things were in their previous encounter, because, of course, I know, but for the viewers especially, we would want to have that graphics
हुँ।
pop up, because when they went, it was such a close tie, because there was no decisive winner. It ended in a draw, which, well, to be honest, I would not want to see this time around. If that is going to be the case, we do have something really special, which we will let you know. But for that, you need to enjoy. And before we have this match beginning, I think I should take this moment to request all you guys to call up your friends on the broadcast. Enjoy this, because this is the finest that Indian FIFA community has to offer. Considering we are pushing the FIFA esports of India so much, it's better that you also get to be a part of it and witness history in the making. And TT, we have talked enough about CJ and Genesis, right? Both these players are well capable of beating each other, and they have done that multiple times in the past. And I think both of them did acknowledge that we know each other's style of play. So today they're going to do something different. If whoever does that, whoever makes the least mistakes is going to be the winner. But let's talk about what is going to happen in the other 1v1 that we have. That is going to be Varsi and Shagnik, because last time I think Shagnik was 2-0 up, and then Varsi is the comeback king, right? He just came back and 3 goals in quick succession and went on to win that game.
देखिए, अभी तक कहानी कुछ वैसा ही रहा है उनके लिए, लाइक पूरे सीज़न के अंदर, कि वो कमबैक करने में जो है, वो बहुत ज़्यादा, लाइक बहुत बार वो कमबैक किए हैं काइंड ऑफ, अगर हम लोग कहें। लेकिन देखिए, आप अभी नॉकआउट स्टेज पे हो और आपको ये नहीं सोचना चाहिए कि हम कमबैक कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि कमबैक के लिए अगर आप वेट करोगे तो वो हो सकता है कि आपके हाथ से निकल भी जाए। तो इसी वजह से इस बार तो कोशिश यही रहेगा कि शुरुआत से वो डोमिनेट करे और एडवांटेज ले। जितना ज़्यादा वो एडवांटेज इधर से ले पाएंगे उतना ही ज़्यादा बेहतर, क्योंकि पहला 2 गेम जो है वो बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है। सबसे पहले सीजे वर्सेस जेनेसिड, एंड उसके बाद कोऑप, क्योंकि इसी दोनों पे भी हो सकता है कि हम लोग को रिजल्ट मिल जाए। तो बहुत ज़्यादा सोच समझ के, एकदम कूल रह के परफॉर्म करने की ज़रूरत है, और अपने-अपने क्लब्स को रिप्रेज़ेंट करें। आई नो कि इधर प्रेशर काफ़ी ज़्यादा रहेगा, वो भी नॉकआउट स्टेज पे पहुँच चुके हैं, तो प्रेशर देखिए काफ़ी ज़्यादा होगा, लेकिन उस प्रेशर को जो सबसे अच्छे तरीके से हैंडल कर पाएँगे, वो कहीं न कहीं आगे निकल जाएँगे। एंड उनमें मुझे लगता है कि इन टर्म्स ऑफ एक्सपीरियंस, बेंगलुरु एफसी के पास एक्सपीरियंस हल्का-सा थोड़ा ज़्यादा है।
Yeah, I think this discussion has got to come up once again when you're talking about Shagnik as a player. Really, we just saw the stats of CJ. He's barely ever put Shagnik in a position where he's got to fight for his club, right? Where his match would actually matter, because by the time Shagnik comes to play, Bengaluru FC are already 2-0 up, and they've already secured those 3 points. Where we have seen Shagnik get off into all sort of shenanigans. We have seen him work a lot on those individual skills, trying to dribble inside the box, trying to take some really skillful, trying to score some really skillful goals, and he's been doing that relentlessly. But when it comes down to Varsi, he's always been one of those players, I feel, who never tends to give up, right? No matter whatever the circumstances are, this man always fights back down to the wire. And another thing that has, come up with Varsi has been his inconsistency also. That needs to come up because there have even been moments where he's been thrashed by his opponents. And today is a good time to answer all his critics, because we have seen that Varsi has also lost games with some very high margin. Sometimes, fine nails also we've seen that happening, where a lot of opponents have gotten the better out of it. So tonight is where we have to see the best of all these four players, because when you're talking about Shagnik, I think this is something that Duggal had specified and had highlighted this point, that Shagnik is a whole different player when it comes down to LAN. He's got some massive experience, and in fact you have gone on to meet him as a player while he was playing his LAN game. So that's going to be really entertaining and exciting also to see what could the possible outcome of it will be. But before, of course, we are getting the matches started, slight hiccups here and there, but we will be back A-OK, ensuring everything is in order before the games begin. But yeah, if we have to ask about making some quick predictions, TT, and for all you viewers, TT, will start off with you. Who do you think is going to win this fixture?
आई थिंक अगर मैं शुरू करता हूँ लाइक फर्स्ट गेम से, देन मुझे लगता है कि शायद फर्स्ट गेम फॉर सीजे हो ऑफ ड्रॉ, एंड मे बी थर्ड गेम फॉर सागनिक, क्योंकि सागनिक के पास लैन का एक्सपीरियंस थोड़ा ज़्यादा है, तो वो शांत रह के खेल पाएंगे। क्योंकि देखिए इस पे दिमागी गेम, लाइक आप कंट्रोलर के साथ तो खेल रहे हो, बट आपके माइंड पे क्या चल रहा है वो बहुत ज़्यादा इफेक्ट करता है।
Oh, it definitely does affect you on various levels, and you said Shagnik is gonna edge out. I kind of feel the same, but I'll be rooting for Hyderabad FC. Meanwhile, you guys can let us know who are going to be your favorites. I'm pretty sure you're going to be cheering all your favorite clubs over here. But before we have the match started, let's take a quick recap of what happened in the league stages. We've got some amazing content prepared for you guys. Let's have a quick look. Pacing through that right wing, and is so calm on his build-up, right? Wow! Can do things like this. Look at that!
लेकिन वैंडसार, माय गॉड, देव तो कर चुके हैं बट खतरा नहीं टला। बेलिंगम, what a
Cannot just settle with a draw. Cannot fight for only 1 point. They need all the three. And this time, good chain of passes with Mbappe. Have a 9 to go for another pass. On to have your majority of your attackers playing back a little bit, going for the defense, but with Lionel Messi. Oh, it was a little bit of a scrappy play. Wanted to take. And if he nets it at this point, then it's pretty much done and dusted. But a beautiful pass onto it, Pele. He's got to show that patience, and he does. He's done that.
वो जगह ही वो चाबी नहीं मिल रहा, मिला
Oh!
लेकिन हेडर।
Oh! Which he has to chain a few more passes, recycle the ball. Good passing routine.
यस, मुझे भी लगा था शायद हो जाएगा। वाओ, व्हाट अ पास टुवर्ड्स पेले। Oh no!
A player lock on towards Mbappe, passes onto it. Pele takes a shot.
बहुत पहले से रोनाल्डो भी ऑफसाइड पोजीशन पे मौजूद थे, तो ये कभी कभार हो जाता
Wow!
है मोमेंट।
pacing through that right wing. And is so calm on his build-up, right? Wow! Can do things like this. Look at that!
लेकिन Van der Sar, my God! देव तो कर चुके हैं, but खतरा नहीं टला. Bellingham! What a
Cannot just settle with a draw. Cannot fight for only 1 point. They need all the 3. And this time, good chain of passes with Mbappe. Have a 9 to go for another pass. On to have your majority of your attackers playing back a little bit, going for the defense. But with Lionel Messi, oh, it was a little bit of a scrappy play. Wanted to take. And if he nets it at this point, then it's pretty much done and dusted. But a beautiful pass onto it, Pele. He's got to show that patience, and he does. He's done that.
And उसी के साथ चरणजोत को बताए कि यस यही वो गोल है.
They produce, and there you go. R9 breaks free for a run. He goes in for the charge himself right back into the game.
क्योंकि देखिए दोनों ही तरफ जा सकते हैं. सागनिक भी इधर प्रेशर में. आपके पास obviously dribbling power मिलता है, so why not use that?
And is so calm on his build-up, right? Those 1-2 passes. And seek some blessings of Lord Jagannath, and then only can he score. But threatening. And I think it takes them to concede a goal to get back into the set. And what better way with a beautiful pass towards Mbappe, that ball roll. Oh my goodness, Shakik just time finished. And this is where Bengaluru FC. But this time, not gonna work. Beautiful cross.
यहाँ ओ भाई जब मैं खेल रहा था ये पूरा
Might happen pretty soon. With Ronaldinho takes a direct shot, could get poached. Stretching his legs, getting the ball over there, and now a driven through beautiful one to Ronaldinho. A good chance perhaps being created. Ronaldinho taking his own time there. That's a pass. Hakimi. And now this is a good that he could concede a goal
Wow.
like.
अगर फुल एग्रेसिव मोड पे बीच से मेसी का
Wow.
था ले रहे हैं एक पास ओ माय
What?
वो तो एग्रेसिव मोड पे बीच से मेसी का
Wow.
था लेकिन रोनाल्डिनो अपने पास रखा और फिर
After 55 matches, here we are. The top 6 clubs have reached the playoff.
Watch them in the eISL playoffs this weekend.
एंड उसी के साथ चरणजोत को बताएं कि यस यही वो गोल है
They produce and there you go. R9 breaks free for a run. He goes in for the charge himself right back into the game.
के पे रख सकते हो क्योंकि देखिए दोनों ही तरफ जा सकते हैं ये साथी की इधर प्रेशर में आपके पास ऑब्वियसली ड्रिबलिंग पावर मिलता है सो व्हाई नॉट डू दैट
And is so calm on his build-up, right? Those 1-2 passes and seek some blessings of Lord Jagannath, and then only can he score. But threatening, and I think it takes them to concede a goal to get back into the set. And what better way with a beautiful pass towards Mbappe, that ball roll. Oh my goodness, Shagnik just time finished, and this is where Bengaluru FC. Welcome back, folks. You are watching the eISL Season 2 brought to you by Nordwind Gaming. It is the playoffs that we are in here at today. And, of course, apologies for that slight hiatus, but we are back. We ensured that everything is A-okay before we had the match beginning. And, yes, the voice in my head has given me that dream that, yes, you can go ahead and let the match commence. So, TT, yes, slight delay before we get things started, but I feel it's like the calm before the storm, don't you?
या एक बहुत ही बड़ा स्टॉर्म जो कि कहने के भी आने वाला है फॉर श्योर क्योंकि दोनों ही प्लेयर्स सिर्फ दोनों नहीं चारों के चारों प्लेयर्स इधर रेडी हो चुके हैं और दोनों के माइंड पे तो ऑलरेडी चलना शुरू हो चुका है कि क्या होने वाला है क्या होगा ये सब कुछ क्योंकि जब आप लड़ाई पे जाते हो लड़ाई मींस इन द सेंस लाइक फुटबॉल पिच के ऊपर विद प्लेयर्स उस जगह पे जाके आपको पहले से सोच के जाना पड़ता है थोड़ा बहुत प्लान्स रेडी करके जाना पड़ता है कि शुरुआती में क्या करना है और उसके बाद अगर आपके प्लान के हिसाब से चल जाए तो वाह क्या कहना लेकिन अगर नहीं चले देन सेकंड प्लान थर्ड प्लान जितने भी आपके पास बैकअप प्लान्स हैं सबको यूज कीजिए सो एक बहुत बहुत बड़ा लड़ाई जो है वो हम लोग को इधर देखने के लिए मिलने वाला है और जैसे कि फिक्सेस आप कह ही रहे थे ऑडियंस को मैं भी कहूँगा कि आप लोग अपने जो स्नैक्स है वो लेके रेडी हो जाइए इधर देखिए प्लेयर्स तो रेडी हो ही चुके हैं
Yeah, we're in the player booths and in the arena where we see Hyderabad FC and Bengaluru FC. Both of these clubs already prepared and they've got their game faces on. It's the first matchup. CJ goes against Genesis. And this is it. This is where they finally settle their scores at the stakes which matter the highest. And, it's never been more than this. And we have reached that ceiling where, well, the rooftop, it's going to pretty much break. But coming back, to how these players love to play, we really need to watch out for Genesis and his aggression early on into the game. Really goes for that build up there and instantly scores. But CJ, he's an explosive player. He's kind of the jack of all trades, and he's mastered pretty much everything. I must say that. But CJ also needs to watch out for Genesis making those substitute changes around that 65th to 70th minute marker, because that's when he gets his Erling Haaland up, and we have seen how many games has Genesis made a comeback into with just that one card.
Yeah. और उसी के साथ फाइनली प्लेऑफ का पहला गेम होता हुआ शुरू बेंगलुरु एफसी वर्सेस हैदराबाद एफसी के बीच में। बेंगलुरु एफसी लेफ्ट टू राइट, राइट टू लेफ्ट, हैदराबाद एफसी इधर देखने के लिए मिलेंगे। बट हाँ, देखिए प्रेशर आज काफी ज्यादा है, माहौल बहुत ज्यादा गर्म है, और इससे कहीं ना कहीं प्लेयर के ऊपर मुझे लग नहीं रहा ज्यादा कुछ जो है वो इफेक्ट आएगा। वो चाहेंगे कि वो एकदम ध्यान से नॉर्मली खेले जैसे कि बाकी गेम्स खेले थे और वो जीत के जाए।
Bengaluru FC, in fact, CJ, right from the get go, he's going for a very
हम्म।
nice build up play, right? He's constantly just recycling the ball and trying to keep Genesis at bay and constantly trying to confuse him. But again, receive the ball on Ronaldinho, passes it on back with Hakimi, but Genesis managing to make an interception at the right nick of time. And as a result of which, I think even for Genesis, he's going to go for a rather slower approach. I don't think we're going to see counterattacks coming right off the get-go, because now players are playing in a different surrounding. They're not at the comfort of their homes, right? They're in the arena. And when your opponent is right in front of you, that's where the pressure starts surmounting.
ये सीजे की अगर बात किया जाए, उनका लाइक डिफेंस लाइन है वो बहुत ज़्यादा चढ़ के खेल रही है, और इसकी वजह से ही शायद शुरुआती जो अटैक था वो इतना ज़्यादा स्ट्रांगली बना था। लेकिन उसको भेदने की कोशिश फिलहाल के लिए चलता हुआ जेनेसिड की तरफ से, एकदम राइट साइड ऑफ द पिच पूरा प्रॉपर्ली विथ हकीमी टुवर्ड्स बेलिंगम। और देखिए ये एक मिस पास हो गया, बेलिंगम की तरफ से इंटरसेप्ट किया गया और बॉल झेलेंगे इधर बैंगलोर एफसी। सो ओवरऑल अगर देखा जाए अभी तक ये शुरुआती 13 मिनट्स के अंदर तो एक प्रॉपर अटैक हम लोगों को सीजे की तरफ से तो देखने के लिए मिला था, बट वो शॉट नहीं ले पाए। बट ऑन द अदर हैंड जेनेसिस की अगर बात किया जाए, वो लाइक उस पोजीशन पे पहुंच नहीं पाए है। सो अभी के लिए तो देखा जाए तो सीजे की तरफ से जो अटैक है वो हम लोगों को ज्यादा थ्रेटनिंग नज़र आ रहा था। एक बार फिर से बॉल कंट्रोल उन्हीं के पास, लेकिन जिस जगह से इस बार बॉल छीना गया है जेनेसिस की तरफ से, ये बहुत ज़्यादा मुश्किल में डाल सकता है सीजे को। राइट हैंड साइड से रन निकाल चुके थे एम्बापे, बाकी इस बार रोनाल्डो, बीच में एम्बापे, क्या ये पहला गोल होगा? हो भी सकता है, मे बी पॉसिबिलिटी है, हो भी
Wow.
जाएगा विद रोनाल्डिनियो, बैक ऑफ द नेट, पहला गोल। एंड हैदराबाद एफसी जेनेसिस शुरू कर चुके हैं, ऐलान कर चुके हैं, और इधर कमबैक करना बहुत ज़्यादा और बहुत जल्दी ज़रूरी, क्योंकि ज़्यादा लेट होंगे फिर प्रॉब्लम हो सकता है।
Yeah, that will happen definitely. But what a beautiful steal over there from Bellingham, just trying to build up that play, right? As if he was just waiting for that moment. And the trigger run with his right centre forward, he just pushed in, got R9 into position, passed it, and then scores a goal. And Bengaluru FC, they are eyeing out for blood. And there you go, CJ, he just gets that one chance, threading the needle with Kylian Mbappe, green time to perfection. And just when we thought that yes, Genesis is going to be enjoying that one goal, Bengaluru FC, they are right back into this.
बट देखिए इस बार कहीं न कहीं जैसे कि हम लोग बात कर रहे थे इसके पहले ही कि लाइक 60 70th मिनट पे अर्लिंग हॉलैंड को लेके आते थे। अभी तक अर्लिंग हॉलैंड का जो रेटिंग था वो 96 था, एंड विद टीओटीएस अभी 97 के भी अर्लिंग हॉलैंड है। तो कहीं न कहीं कोई शुरुआत भी करते हुए दिख सकता है। हालाँकि इस गेम के अंदर तो शुरू किया गया है विद एम्बापे रोनाल्डो, लाइक जो ट्रेडिशनली लाइक यूज़ किया जाता है यूजुअली, क्योंकि इस पूरे फीफा 23 के अंदर यही फॉर्मेशन ज़्यादा दिखा है। बट जेनेसिस एक बार फिर से बिल्डअप पे पहुंच चुके हैं। पासिंग बहुत ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट है, और आप कितना ज़्यादा एक्यूरेटली पास कर पाते हो, उसके ऊपर भी बहुत कुछ डिपेंड करता है कि आपका अटैक जो है वो कितना ज़्यादा शार्प होगा। बट बेहतरीन डिफेंडिंग लूशियो से इधर बॉल छीना गया था और कहीं न कहीं बॉल इस बार कंट्रोल में आ चुका है बेंगलुरु एफसी के। सो बहुत ही ज़्यादा एंड टू एंड गेम चल रहा है, कोई ज़्यादा टाइम इधर बिता नहीं रहे मिडफील्ड के ऊपर। बॉल आ रहा है, 2-3 पासेस एंड उसके बाद ओपोनेंट के लाइक हाफ पे जाके उनके डिफेंस के सामने जो है वो ज़्यादातर पासेस खेला जा रहा है ताकि वो गैप मिले।
And I kind of beg to differ on this one because I feel like these players are, just constantly recycling the ball, right? Look at CJ is trying to go for those build-ups and not scoring till he has that perfect angle, right? He needs to have every corner checked before he goes for a score. And then you can see Genesis, one of his major problems during the league stages was his defense. Now, considering both these players are at LAN, now the player switching will be at the same time. There's not going to be any of those micro delays there, and a beautiful lob through pass, and had it made its marker towards Kylian Mbappe, then I'm pretty sure that could have been the second goal coming in. But TT, right now I think if we talk about possession, it's kind of more favoring Bengaluru FC, to be honest, because this is a different version of CJ that we are witnessing, right? He's not going with haste. He's kind of very calm, trying to go for those stable build-ups and constantly keeping possession. And this is not where we're seeing Genesis to be instantly contesting for the ball, right? He's kind of making those charge tackles right at the moment where CJ is going for a skill move. And that is exactly he's done in this case as well.
एंड वो उनके लिए काफ़ी ऑन पॉइंट काम भी आ रहा है। लेकिन वही बात है कि आप अगर अलाउ करोगे सीजे को कि इतना ज़्यादा वो डीप आए आपके डिफेंस के अंदर, देन वो कभी-कभार अगर आपका एक भी छोटा-सा गलती होता है, वो आपके लिए मुश्किल में आपको डाल सकता है। तो थोड़ा-सा ध्यान से ज़रूर इधर अपना जो गेम है वो दिखाना होगा जेनेसिड को। बट हर्नांडेज़ को हम देख पा रहे हैं बहुत ज़्यादा ऊपर ऑलरेडी भेज दिया गया ओवरलैप और थ्री एट द बैक फिलहाल के लिए खेला जा रहा है फ्रॉम द साइड ऑफ सेड और विंग बैक्स के हिसाब से थियान हकीमी को इधर खिलाया जाता हुआ और हकीमी की अगर बात किया जाए, उनको आप राइट बैक से भी ज़्यादा अगर राइट विंग बैक पे खिलाते हो, तो आपको ज़्यादा वैल्यू इधर प्रोवाइड करके दे सकते हैं। सेम विथ थियो हर्नांडेज़ एज़ वेल। तो उसका पूरा-पूरा फ़ायदा शायद हम लोग को मिलता हुआ दिखे बट पासिंग ऑप्शन नहीं थे, जिसके वजह से इधर जो ज़्यादा देर तक का बॉल होल्ड करते हुए दिखे फ्रॉम द साइड ऑफ टेनेसिड तो उस जगह पे बॉल छिना गया। सो फर्स्ट हाफ इधर हो चुका है खत्म एंड फर्स्ट हाफ के एंड पे एक चीज़ तो पता चल रहा है कि जेनेसिड जो है वो ज़्यादा ओवर एग्रेसिव नहीं जाना चाहते जिससे कि उनके ऊपर प्रेशर क्रिएट हो। ऑन द अदर हैंड सीजे अपना नेचुरल गेम खेल रहे हैं, जो कि वो चढ़ के खेलते हैं, लेकिन उसी जगह पे जो है वो भी इधर प्रॉपर पोज़ीशन ढूँढ रहे हैं जिधर से 100% उनको गोल मिल सकता है, देन ही वो शूट कर रहे हैं।
Yeah, I think this has all been about the first game where we can see that the players over here, especially CJ, he's trying to keep control of the ball as much as he possibly can. And then it has been Genesid who's been playing a lot on those counters. We can't say that he's been quite erratic or he's been quite rash, right? He's been playing quite calculative as well. Now, when you talk about these two giants going off against each other, right? This has to boil down to a very close game between the two. Now, look at the first half. Nothing really separating these two because Genesis he created a masterpiece there, beautiful goal, and suddenly the next moment it was a sucker punch. And before he could even blink an eye, CJ goes on to score. Now, this is where things get really deadly because it's the second half. This is where both these players are gonna get their substitutes up. Both these players are gonna make a few changes in their style of play. Maybe you have that constant pressure being triggered, that PAPL, but somebody has to go a goal up.
एंड फर्स्ट हाफ के एंड पे ही इधर जिनोला को लेके आया गया है। सो यानी कि बहुत ज़्यादा इंटरेस्टिंग होगा कि लाइक मिडफील्ड से अगर आप डेविड जिनोला को आगे लेके जाते हो देन उधर से बहुत ही एक्स्ट्रा यानी कि आपको एक स्ट्राइकर ऑप्शन दे देते हैं क्योंकि उनके पास ऑलरेडी रोनाल्डिनियो तो मौजूद है ही, तो क्रिएटिविटी की कमी तो बिल्कुल नहीं होने वाला पिच के ऊपर। बट एज ऑफ नाउ इधर हम देख पा रहे हैं जेनेसिस बेहतरीन एक बिल्डअप में बट बहुत शानदार डिफेंस का प्रदर्शन विजय की तरफ से एक बार के लिए लगा था। मे बी जेनेसिस टर्न करके उधर शॉट लेंगे लेकिन वो लेने नहीं दिया गया विद वैन डाइक। बहुत ज़्यादा चौकन्ने थे इधर सीजे और उनको होना भी होगा क्योंकि इधर कोई भी गलती उनके लिए भारी पड़ सकता है। और इस बार के लिए काउंटर पे विद रोनाल्डिनियो
No way!
फिनिश कर चुके हैं राइट नेट पे। बेहतरीन brilliance. 2-1 and CJ उनका मैजिशियन उनको क्यों कहा जाता है वो एक बार फिर से प्रूव करते हुए
Now this is CJ Brilliance written all over it. Just when you would think that he might go for an extra pass with Ronaldinho, but rather just goes for a ball roll scoop and then finds that extra angle and takes a shot. And now pressure has started creeping up. Now this is why we were saying it's the playoffs. You could see that anxiety on Genesis's face, and it's kind of resonating down to me. CJ, he's been in this situation. He knows how to handle all these circumstances, and by the looks of it, CJ wants more. But Genesis has to respond back in quick fashion, cannot leave a margin of error right now. Because TT, honestly, if Genesis concedes one more goal, I feel like this could be curtains rolling down for him. And this is where it's gonna break my heart, because I want to see Genesis staging a comeback against the best player in South Asia.
ये आपने एकदम सही कहा क्योंकि एक और गोल अगर कंसीड कर लेंगे देन जाके मुश्किल बहुत ज़्यादा हो जाएगा क्योंकि अभी तक जितने भी अटैक दिखे हैं स्पेशली वो पहला गोल या वी नो कि जेनेसिड का ब्रिलियंस उधर था लेकिन जिस जगह पे बॉल लूज किए थे सीजे उसका भी बहुत ज़्यादा एक हाथ था जिस जगह पे लाइक स्ट्रक्चर पे नहीं आ पाए थे उनके डिफेंस तो वो कहीं ना कहीं कह सकते हैं कि सीजे के गलती की वजह से भी वो गोल हुआ था लेकिन अभी तक सीजे ने जो 2 गोल्स किए हैं वो दोनों के दोनों उनका बिल्डअप था एकदम डिफरेंट से लेके स्टार्ट करके अटैक पे वो फिनिश करने था देखिए इसने के लिए बढ़ते हुए विद रोनाल्डो बॉल कंट्रोल हम लोगों को दिख तो रहा है लेकिन वो मौका नहीं मिला जिधर से वो शॉट लिए एम्बापे हकीमी कोशिश देखिए चल रहा है लेकिन ये बिल्डअप क्या वो एंड कर पाएंगे
That's a big question right now. And this time, Genesis is not going to let loose of any corners, right? He has to be vigilant, right on his toes, has to anticipate that threat coming in. And with Kylian Mbappe, now he's got some room with R9, goes for a great time shot, but Van der Sar coming for the rescue. All CJ is going to get is a corner out of this one with Ruud Gullit. Nice pass, again back on towards Ruud Gullit. He's got quite a few players up. Look at that, At this point, if Genesis somehow manages to steal this one away, he's going to be exposed to a nice counter-attack. He can easily get something done, but still keeping the ball in play with R9. That ball just curling away a little bit too much. 65 minutes have already gone in, ladies and gentlemen. Bengaluru FC still a goal ahead. Now, this is where either of the clubs starts queuing for the pauses, right? This is where we might get to see a few changes, but Genesis wants to go on a quick counter-attack, but that does not happen as David Ginola comes way back behind to defend, has stolen the ball away, and Ronaldinho is again on the break, and that could be a really nice Trivela cross received by Kylian Mbappe, but still had to fight with a lot of defenders out there, and the attack goes folly.
इस तरीके से सीजे आखिरी 10 मिनट के अंदर परफॉर्म किए उससे एक चीज तो पता चल चुका है कि हैदराबाद के फैंस आप शांत हो जाइए क्योंकि आई नो कि आपके लिए हार्ट अटैक्स आ रही हैं बैक टू बैक जेनेसिड वो उसको संभालने में अभी के लिए तो कामयाब हुए हैं वो अटैक पे
Wow! No way!
नो ये नहीं हो रहा था बट फिर भी करेंगे इक्वलाइज 2-2 बहुत देर अटैक चलने के बाद एक बेहतरीन कमबैक एंड मुंह तोड़ जवाब 73rd मिनट 2-all फिक्सर्स गेम बहुत ज्यादा हीट अप हो चुका है
Yes, it's game on, folks. Barely 15 minutes remaining, and both these clubs are tied. And we are gonna go back. We're even Stevens over here. This is where Hyderabad FC have queued a pause. But look at the quality of that goal. I mean, initially goes for a reverse elastico, finds some space, but hits the crossbar. But then somehow, when you feel like the luck's not favoring, poaches it back, gets a good angle, and then he takes another shot. This time, however, Genesis makes no mistake. And yes, we can see the tension also on the face of CJ. At some point, they're having that team chat with each other. Both of these players boosting each other's morals. Their teammates. Really, that camaraderie is visible between both these clubs, right? Somebody has to score a winner from here. And now I'm kind of keen to see what changes have been made. Pretty sure Erling Haaland has to be bought up, but we have seen this happen in the past where Genesis scores one and then suddenly concedes another, and this could be a good run, but right time tackle, well timed by Ruud Gullit. As a matter of fact, now again Genesis gets to build up his play.
जेनेसिड बीच में कुछ देर उनको देख के लग रहा था कि शायद उनके हाथ से गेम चला गया। सीजे जिस तरीके से अटैक
No
करते
way.
हैं सीजे क्रॉस करने की कोशिश था, हालांकि बट वो कभी कभार हो जाता है कि आप एकदम फुल अगर बाहर कर दे तो प्रेशर का देन वो बाहर चला जाता है या फिर आउट स्विंग आउट कर्ल हो जाता है, तो वही हमको शायद देखने के लिए मिला। बट देखिए 80th मिनट और अभी भी ड्रॉ चलता हुआ, और अगर आप
Oh.
कमबैक करते हो तो आपका कॉन्फिडेंस बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ जाता है। तो जेनसिड के पास कॉन्फिडेंस तो होगा, लेकिन सीजे उनके पास वो एक्सपीरियंस है और उनके पास यानी कि कुछ अलग चीज़ तो है जिसकी वजह से उनको साउथ एशिया का वन ऑफ द बेस्ट प्लेयर कहा जाता है। तो वो झलक कहीं न कहीं दिखेगा। तो प्रेशर देखिए दोनों के ही ऊपर काफ़ी ज़्यादा है। और हाँ, इस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम के ऊपर सीजे के ऊपर थोड़ा ज़्यादा, बट इस बार ब्लॉक थ्रू बॉल टुवर्ड्स रोनाल्डिनियो, बॉल कंट्रोल में है। क्या वो कर पाएंगे? बीबी बॉल नहीं, बट फाइनली लूसियो द सेवियर एंड इट्स इट। माय गॉड।
You know, I'm already on the verge of a breakdown over here. So many close attempts on goal, but still, those final 4 minutes remaining. Somebody needs to score a late game winner over here with David Ginola into the fray, trying to keep those passing up for CJ. Quite interesting to see Ginola play so down the line there. And you would ideally want to see him go up, because last time in the co-op matchup was David Ginola for Hyderabad FC. It started things off where they kind of managed to score 3 goals in quick succession and just get out a draw out of that fixture. And then we did see Watsi go on. And I think this is the last chance for CJ to try and make something happen. He has got to make it count with David Ginola. You can see the amount of men that Genesis has deployed to get through this, and well, it goes out for a corner. Still one more attempt, and CJ, is he going to go for a long one? Does go indeed, but I guess Genesis would want to spot this ball out of play, but still chances on last moment hiccups. Van der Sar says, I've had enough, and he puts the ball out of play. And that being said, well, nothing separating these two, as at the end of the full-time whistle, both of them are tied up. And this is where, folks, it doesn't end, right? This doesn't end. This is where we go for an extra time. And even if things go level there also, then we are looking at penalties.
हाँ, देखिए इधर कहने के सिनेरियोस जो है वो बहुत ही ज़्यादा गर्म हो चुका है। दोनों ही तरह से दोनों ही क्लब्स अपना जी जान लगा रहे हैं इधर इस गेम को जीतने के लिए। एंड व्हाई नॉट, ये नॉकआउट स्टेज है, अगर आप इधर जीतते हो देन आपको जाके खेलने का मौका मिलेगा सेमीफाइनल में, और सेमीफाइनल में आपके लिए कौन वेट कर रहे हैं? और कोई नहीं, वो है एफसी गोवा। सो बहुत ज़्यादा इंटरेस्टिंग कहने के सिनेरियोस जो है वो देखने के लिए मिलेगा। बट फाइनली इधर एक्स्ट्रा टाइम का गेम हो चुका है शुरू। 30 मिनट का ये रहेगा एक्शन। इसके अंदर अगर कोई गोल दाग के वो डिफरेंस कायम रख पाते हैं देन वो इस गेम को जीत के जाएंगे।
Yeah, and there you go, the commencement of the extra time, and well, we can see CJ again with those build-ups. I think CJ has been in tune, right? He's been trying to keep a lot of control, but Genesis, he's been making those nice interceptions, nice steals also in around the midfield, and he's been generating his counter-attack. But now this is as close as it gets with Kylian Mbappe. Went for a little bit of a reverse elastico, wanted to go through, but well, Genesis, I think he saw that from miles apart. And these two players have played against each other on numerous occasions, right? So they kind of know their style of play, what the other player is going to be doing at any given moment. So this is where, this is something that we touched upon, that somebody has got to do something out of the box when the stakes are higher than ever. Somebody needs to score a goal that you wouldn't ideally anticipate. I think CJ has been taking his chances. We've seen a couple of long shots being taken, and then we saw that long corner routine also being exercised. but feels like Genesis was always prepared for what CJ was throwing at his direction.
एंड यही होता है स्टडी करके आना, जो कि बहुत ही अच्छे तरीके से करके आए हैं जेनेसिड
Oh,
जेकब। लेकिन देखिए, जब हम लोग का बात आ जाता है नॉकआउट एंड प्लेऑफ्स के ऊपर, उस जगह पे खेलने के आपके जो सब्स्टिट्यूट है, आप कौन से टाइम पे कब कर रहे हो, वो बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी हो जाता है। क्योंकि आपको कुछ इसी तरीके से एक्स्ट्रा 30 मिनट्स भी जो है वो खेलना पड़ सकता है, जिसके ऊपर बहुत कुछ डिपेंड करता है। लाइक आपका जो स्टैमिना एंड ऑल, लाइक आपका क्या चेंज करोगे, ये सब कुछ। अभी तक शायद सिर्फ डेविड जिनोला हम लोग को आते हुए देखने के लिए मिले फ्रॉम द साइड ऑफ बेंगलुरु एफसी, लेकिन उसी के बीच में एक पक्का तरीका बचा हुआ है। बेलिंगम के साथ राइट कोने पे फिनिश किया गया है। जेनेसिड एफसी एक बार फिर से बढ़त लेके शुरू किए थे अपना पहला जो 90 मिनट्स का गेम है वो, और उसके बाद ये एक्स्ट्रा टाइम भी लीड ले चुके हैं जेनेसिड एज ऑफ नाउ।
yeah. And this is the point where he goes 5 for 1. At this point, we know Charanjot, he's got something going down on his mind, right? Some sort of a strategy is cooking, something to get right back at Genesis. But look at that goal, right? Just when we were least expecting it, when we were thinking that, it's just going to be a quick set of passes, eventually, CJ is going to come and defend. But Genesis, nobody saw that coming, and this lad goes on to score. But the big question still prevails on everybody's mind. Is this going to be the winner? Or is CJ going to make a comeback? Because, of course, the first half of the extra time is over. Then coming into the second half of extra time, does CJ respond back? Now, that is one of the biggest dilemmas that we are having right now. What does he need to do in this case to break through him? He's tried a lot of variations in his attack, and seems like that Genesis has sort of, acclimatized himself, has been conditioned to such situations where now he's prepared. CJ, come on, bring it on, bro. I'm there. I'm gonna take it away from you. I'm gonna take that victory. I'm gonna have that sweet revenge. Because let me remind you, folks, the last time these two titans went up against each other, CJ won by a narrow margin. It was just that one goal that made CJ the victor. But this time, Genesis, for the first time against CJ in the eISL, he's got that lead. And surely he would not want to bottle it up.
आखिरी 15 मिनट का गेम जेनेसिड को जस्ट अगर डिफेंड करना होगा अपने इस एक गोल के डिफरेंस को, लेकिन वो देखिए इस बार जा रहे हैं अटैक के अर्लिंग हॉलैंड के साथ। तो हॉलैंड को इधर लेके आया गया है। तो ब्रांड अगर देखा जाए सीजे के पास ज़्यादा टाइम नहीं है, उनको एक ही अटैक अगर बनाना है तो वो एक ही बनाए, लेकिन वो फिनिशिंग ज़रूरी है। वो फिनिशिंग एकदम एक्यूरेट होना चाहिए। और कॉर्नर से अटैक बनता हुआ वन मोर टाइम जेनेसिड की तरफ से बेलिंगम के साथ आज का जो परफॉर्मेंस है वो जेनेसिड का काफी अच्छा रहा है। विद बेलिंगम ने बहुत कुछ न्यू किया है, बट हाइट का और फिजिक का पूरा फायदा, लेकिन इस बार ऑफ।
Yeah, and we know that we can feel the tremors when Genesis gets on Erling Haaland. He has scored some tremendous goals when getting him as a super sub. I'm just kind of wondering if it's the new Erling Haaland card up, but now CJ's got a chance. He has to capitalize, passes it on towards Ruud Gullit, and then directly goes on for the shot with that left foot. Did not green time it this time, but the pressure still on Genesis as a quick flurry of passes. But this is where Genesis has really excelled in quite a long time. And now with Erling Haaland, he is going to take those long strides, and this could be him on a warpath to end CJ. But no, that was not the case. CJ, nice anticipation. Let's keep a little ahead, protected the ball, got it in his clutches, and now he's back on an attack of his own with just merely 5 minutes remaining. Now again, this is the worst that CJ could have hoped for, because now with Ruud Gullit, he's pacing down. He's got Eusebio as a passing option, but all that Genesis needs to do right now is buy time. Does not need to have CJ on the ball, because CJ seems like he's going to keep the final attack to himself.
आखिरी 3 मिनट का गेम बचा हुआ है और सीजे उनको बाय एनी हाउ इस पे गोल स्कोर करना ही होगा अगर उनको ड्रॉ निकालना है तो। ओह माय गॉड, बाय द वे ज्यादा मौका उनको दिया नहीं जाएगा। एडेड टाइम 1 मिनट का जोड़ा गया है और शायद जेनेसिड को अपना पहला विन उनके जस्ट सामने दिख रहा है। पीछे वैंडेसा मौजूद है। Genesid with Vandisa टाइम वेस्ट करेंगे 1 मिनट होगा गेम के बाहर बॉल और उसी के साथ पहला विन हैदराबाद एफसी के लिए आ चुका है प्लेऑफ्स के अंदर विद दैट प्रेशर थोड़ा सा रिलीज होगा बट आप देखिए इधर वॉर्सी को लाइक जेनसिट जितना था लाइक प्रेशर में थे उससे ज्यादा प्रेशर में तो वॉर्सी लग रही थी इधर
Oh my God, जो राहत की सांस होती है ना वो अभी वारसी ने लिया है and he is absolutely, you know, for a moment he had his heart right popping out of his mouth, and the moment that final whistle was blown, I guess this is where they realized, yes, the job is half done, but it's still miles to go, TT. But what a cracker of a match, you know, the first upset that we got to see in the playoffs. You know, everybody thought that CJ is going to be the favorite in this game, but Genesid, you know, he did not lose hope. Kind of manifested a little bit of that Warsi's warrior attitude. He knew that he had some scores to settle, and what an occasion to do that, folks. I mean, this game going to the extra time, and in that, Genesid prevailing supreme. This is what we are in here for, folks, because now for Bengaluru FC, they have to win the co-op game at any cost. But the big question is, are the players of Hyderabad FC gonna let it happen?
क्वेश्चन तो बहुत बहुत बड़ा है और इसमें कहने के लाइक खरे उतर पाएंगे कि नहीं बेंगलुरु एफसी तो हम लोग को कोऑप गेम के अंदर ही देखने के लिए मिलेगा लेकिन इस गेम के अंदर अगर देखा जाए ड्रामा कम नहीं था शुरुआत हुआ जेनेसिड के साथ जो कि पिछले मैचअप पे एक भी गोल स्कोर नहीं कर पाए थे अगर हम लोग बात करें लाइक 1-0 से जीते थे सीजे उस जगह से आके पहले शुरू के लीड के साथ उसके जस्ट 1 या 2 मिनट के अंदर अंदर इक्वलाइजर भागा गया सीजे की तरफ से और कहीं ना कहीं इसी तरीके से चलता गया बट सेकंड गोल जब 2-2 हो गया उसके बाद जाके ये तीसरा वो भी एक्स्ट्रा टाइम पे आई थिंक उसी जगह से पता चल गया था काइंड ऑफ क्लियर हो गया था कि विनर कौन होने वाला है तो यस पहले मैच का जो रिजल्ट है गेम नंबर 1 उसके 3-2 से आगे निकल चुके हैं जेनेसिड अपना काम कर चुके हैं अभी उनका जस्ट और एक हाफ का काम बाकी है वो है कोऑप के अंदर जो वॉर्सी के साथ वो खेलने वाले हैं लेकिन अगर हम लोग बात करें कोऑप गेम्स की 10 कहने की बेंगलुरु एफसी के पास थोड़ा सा हल्का फुल्का जो एज है वो रहता है क्योंकि अभी तक अगर थ्रू आउट टूर्नामेंट अगर हम लोग परफॉर्मेंस देखें तो बेंगलुरु एफसी का बहुत बहुत अच्छा रहा है उनका रिकॉर्ड लेकिन ऑन द अदर हैंड हैदराबाद एफसी उनको बहुत बार जरूरत पड़ा है कमबैक की तो आज भी क्या कमबैक की जरूरत होगा या फिर वो डोमिनेट करेंगे वो तो गेम के अंदर जाने के बाद ही पता चलेगा
You know, now let's take a look at what is on the line over here. So, if Hyderabad FC win this co-op, it's settled, it's done and dusted. They go on to face FC Goa. But if Bengaluru FC win this one out, then it comes down to the decider, a battle between the two brothers of destruction over here, Varsi and Shagnik will engulf, and we do not know what the outcome will be because it's so difficult to separate the two. You know, so equalize in terms of their skills. They have done it all. The previous encounter, Varsi did manage to beat Shagnik, but in the playoffs, you never know. It's LAN after all. But coming back, you know, to what really happened in this particular game, I think I felt like CJ was primarily in control on most of those occasions. I felt like he was keeping the possession a lot on him, but I think Genesid has really worked out on his defense, and he never let it look even loose for a single instance. Because I think we have seen Genesid is one of those players who usually opts for a 5-4-1 formation right off the get-go and relies on those counterattacks. I think midfield battles is where I really like Genesid because there were situations where CJ was trying to go for a build-up, and then that first goal when you saw Genesid score, that came out of what? Bellingham just managing to get a steal right around the midfield, and then he initiated that attack. He caught his player, triggered a run from that right wing, and then he built that play up, scored a goal. So I think Genesid being really good on his midfield and on his defense, and CJ did not have a lot of chances. And then came a point where I feel TT that CJ was starting to feel the heat, right? When you saw that Rude Hullet shot being taken around that extra time marker, you saw that he went directly with that left foot and he could not even green time that. That is a very rare occurrence that you see, and that really happens when the pressure starts building on you. So kind of succumb to that, and not really the result that CJ was hoping for, and it's a huge setback for Bengaluru FC. But they know they have been in such similar situations. They can definitely come back right into this.
या दे कैन बट देखिए इधर सीजे को भी चांसेस कम मिले थे ऐसे नहीं है सीजे को बहुत
Yes.
सारे चांसेस मिले थे जिसपे अगर वो कैपिटलाइज करते तो मे बी इधर जेनेसिड के लिए सिनेरियोस जो है वो बहुत सारा साउथ चला जाता क्योंकि आई थिंक मुझे याद आ रहा है 2 शॉट्स ऐसे थे जो एकदम लाइक पोस्ट के बाजू से निकल गया था वो
Right.
अगर वो ऑन टारगेट रख पाते तो फॉर श्योर वो गोल होता है क्योंकि वैंडे सार उतना लाइक वी नो कि वैंडे सार का फिजिक बहुत अच्छा है वो जंप करते हैं लेकिन उतना भी लंबा नहीं है कि वो एक पोस्ट से दूसरे पोस्ट पे चले जाए एक जंप पे तो उधर से गोल स्कोर हो सकते थे सेम विथ अगर जेनेसिड की भी बात करें तो जेनेसिड बहुत पहले शायद वो अपना जो विन है वो ले सकते थे अगर वो बार पोस्ट पे नहीं लगता हालांकि उसके जस्ट लाइक डिफ्लेक्शन के बाद ही उन्होंने गोल स्कोर कर दिया था बट मुझे लगता है कि सीजे उनको जो वो चांस मिला था उस पे कैपिटलाइज करना जरूरी था बट ठीक है हो जाता है कभी कभार प्रेशर पे बट इस बार देखिए कोऑप गेम की बारी और कोऑप की जब भी बात आ जाता है उस टाइम पे कम्युनिकेशन जो है वो सबसे ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट होता है और आज अगर बात किया जाए दोनों ही प्लेयर्स एक दूसरे के आसपास आजू बाजू बैठ के खेलेंगे तो इधर कोई भी कम्युनिकेशन में तो प्रॉब्लम नहीं आने वाला ऑन पॉइंट विदाउट लाइक जीरो लेटेंसी कम्युनिकेशन होने वाला है और प्रेशर जो हैंडल कर पाएंगे वही जीतेंगे बट प्रेशर के मामले में अगर बात किया जाए मुझे लग रहा है वॉरसी कुछ ज्यादा प्रेशर में है
Oh yeah, I think Varsi, this is where eyes are going to be on him because Hyderabad FC, they've not had the best of their co-op games. If you look into their past matchups, right, where Bengaluru FC have always had this rich tradition of ending things in the co-op. Now this is also one of those situations which Bengaluru FC have not been exposed to quite often, right? There was that one occasion where I think Shubham went on to beat CJ, and then it boiled down to the final game and kind of ended as a draw, if my memory serves me right. And so this is where I think Bengaluru FC also really need to wake up and suddenly realize that yes, the pressure is hitting. And if you talk about again the favorites in the co-op so far, if you look at just the results, it has been the players of Bengaluru FC. But Hyderabad FC, the way they are playing, the way they are communicating, constantly, that exchange of information, constantly just boosting each other's morals. This is where it comes down to the fact that who's more hungry, who's here to win, and Hyderabad FC have been certainly showing signs of that.
जी हाँ एंड हैदराबाद एफसी वो क्लब से जो कि आखिरी मोमेंट तक आखिरी दिन तक का ये डिसाइड नहीं हो पाया था कि क्या वो इधर प्लेऑफ्स पे आ रहे हैं कि नहीं आ रहे हैं लेकिन वो प्लेऑफ्स पे आके पहला ही गेम जीत चुके हैं और वो शायद सेमीफाइनल की तरफ जा सकते हैं अगर ये कोऑप जीतते हैं तो बात करते ही करते शुरू हो चुका है कोऑप गेम भी लेफ्ट टू राइट बैंगलोर एफसी राइट टू लेफ्ट हैदराबाद एफसी वंस अगेन बट इस बार देखिए बहुत बहुत ज्यादा टफ होने वाला है बेंगलुरु एफसी के लिए क्योंकि उनके हाथ से ऑलरेडी ये गेम निकल चुका है
Oh yeah, and this is where in this co-op matchup they will have to do anything and everything to come back right in. Bengaluru FC, nice room for Ronaldinho, but Maldini, beautiful charge tackle there. Had he not done that over there, I felt like this was an opening goal for Bengaluru FC. But even for Bengaluru FC, I felt like that pass was kind of an extra one. Could have directly gone for a shot that was not really needed. Had some space and could have taken that chance. But regardless, Hyderabad FC, just when they were breaking free for a counter attack, the ball has been thwarted out for a play, for a throw. Let's see what they decide, how the build up is going to be. Because even in this eISL and the previous eISL co-op had such a huge role, right? Whichever club was a better unit in terms of co-op, they had such a massive advantage going ahead, right? And the biggest example I can say is FC Goa, such a strong co-op. Even if you look at Northeast United FC, Mumbai City FC, even Bengaluru FC, the top fours, they had really good co-op games, as a result of which they have made it to the playoffs. And now this is where Hyderabad FC, you can say they are having that Cinderella story going on for themselves. When we kind of had felt like this looked a little icky, looked a little distraught, that will they make it to the playoffs? Because we had few other contenders like ATK Mohun Bagan, Chennai FC still in the race, but Hyderabad FC prevailing supreme in those situations. This time they're not gonna accept defeat so easily.
आप और देखिए इस बार बेंगलुरु एफसी के पास भी लाइक बहुत कुछ प्रूव करने के लिए है क्योंकि वो अपने प्ली स्टेज पे तो काफ़ी बेहतर परफॉर्मेंस किए थे। लेकिन वो अभी के लिए तो कोई फ़ायदा नहीं होगा लाइक उसका कोई चर्चा इसीलिए नहीं होगा क्योंकि जीतना मेन एम है और जीतने के लिए आपको सबसे पहले ये नॉकआउट गेम जीतना होगा। तो वो जीतने के लिए देखिए इधर प्लेऑफ्स के अंदर आपको अगर बने रहना है, टिके रहना है, तो इस गेम को जीतना ही जीतना है। और अभी तक अगर देखा जाए तो काफ़ी शानदार मिडफ़ील्ड कंट्रोल जो है वो रखा गया है बैंगलोर एफसी की तरफ से। बॉल पोज़ीशनिंग काफ़ी बेहतरीन तरीके से मेंटेन किया जा रहा है और कोई भी मोमेंट पे एक शायद स्कोर भी कर सकते हैं बैंगलोर एफसी। बीच से मौका
Oh
और इस
my
बार
God.
ऑन टारगेट नहीं था। आज बहुत सारे शॉट्स ऐसे दिख रहे हैं बैंगलोर एफसी की तरफ से जो कि ऑन टारगेट नहीं रह रहा।
Yeah, and that is kind of concerning me, to be honest, right? Because they're kind of taking those shots without even getting the player into the right angle. Now, this is where that was not one of those angles where he could have taken a shot and would have hoped 100% for it to go in. It's kind of like a 50-50 chance because you still have the most broken cards in the game, and you could take your chances. If it goes in, it goes in. We have seen some goals being scored like that, and you've got to get the player under those best situations before you go out for scoring. But right now, as things stand, right, 24 minutes have already passed in. Bengaluru FC, they've been making some good passing runs, and this is where I felt like it could have been an offside, but no, that was not the case. A nice triggered run with R9, and he beats through the defense. Hyderabad FC suddenly stupefied, shocked, as Bengaluru FC take the lead, go 1-0 up, and they were left distraught, had no idea what happened, and just like that, Hyderabad FC are a goal down, and Bengaluru FC really need to hit the nail right now, beat it down, and just bring up that coffin and put them under because now they are on their vengeance arc, and they need to win this one in order to throw it to the decider.
ओह! बट वी नो इन फीफा लाइक एक गोल का फासला वो काफ़ी नहीं होता, तो दूसरे गोल के लिए भी इधर तैयारी करना होगा बैंगलोर एफसी को। बट हाँ, पहले गोल के साथ थोड़ा-सा शांति ज़रूर आया होगा क्योंकि जो प्रेशर पे वो चल रहे थे, उससे थोड़ा निकले ज़रूर होंगे। लेकिन देखिए, हकीमी को जब से वो राइट विंग बैक पे खिलाया जा रहा है, बहुत ज़्यादा लाइक इम्पोर्टेंट एक प्लेयर होके उभर के आए हैं। हालाँकि वो जब राइट बैक पे भी खेलते हैं तब भी बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट प्लेयर रहते हैं। लेकिन विंग बैक पे जब हकीमी अपने पेस एंड फिज़ीक के साथ आपके अटैक पे जाते हैं, तब कहीं न कहीं आपको एक एक्स्ट्रा प्लेयर मिल जाता है कम्पीट करने के लिए। बट देखिए, एज़ ऑफ नाउ बॉल एक बार फिर से बैंगलोर एफसी के पास एंड बैंगलोर एफसी इधर बहुत ज़्यादा सोच समझ के इधर खेल रही है। कोई भी गलत पास जो है वो बिल्कुल भी नहीं कर रही क्योंकि पिछले गेम की अगर बात करें तो उसमें गलत पास की वजह से ही बॉल स्टील हुआ था और जिसके बाद जाके पहला गोल कंसीड किए थे इधर बेंगलुरु। सो इस बार वो गलतियाँ नहीं करेंगे और एक चीज़ तो को-ऑप के अंदर बहुत ज़्यादा देखने के लिए मिल रहा है कि मिडफ़ील्ड के ऊपर बॉल का प्रेज़ेंस जो है वो बढ़ चुका है। मिडफ़ील्ड के ऊपर काफ़ी ज़्यादा इधर पासेस और काफ़ी ज़्यादा देर तक बॉल होल्ड किया जा रहा है।
I think Bengaluru FC so far have been the more a better oiled unit. To be honest, they're working in cohesion with each other. They've been synchronizing, triggering the runs well. Where Hyderabad FC, I must say, they've been facing a little bit of difficulties. Right, you could see that Bengaluru FC are not letting them keep a lot of those balls, are trying to pressure them through, and this is where I think Hyderabad FC, I think. At the halftime marker, they need to take a little bit of a pause, just go on the back foot, think it over once again. Because, like you said, TT, right, it's just that one goal difference, and suddenly, in the blink of an eye, it could get equalized. So, Bengaluru FC would be hoping to score another one. But look at the chain of passes that they're going for, right? They feel a lot confident, they know where to, have the players positioned at and how to build up those plays. Now, that is a really nice pass, just beating through a lot of those midfielders, and had this one gone through, had Ronaldinho gotten a touch on that, we could have easily said that this could have been another goal in the making. But this is the first time, the first half whistle already being blown, and as things stands, Bengaluru FC lead by a narrow one goal advantage. So at this moment, the kind of a junction that we are in, you've got to make a few changes if you are Hyderabad FC. Again, talk it out a little bit with your players. Do what needs to be done, because right now the synchronization of Bengaluru FC has been impressive. So they need to kind of pull off or perform some sort of sorcery over here if they need to equalize the score. Because to be honest, at this point, I think Hyderabad FC can also settle with a draw in the co-op matchup.
हाँ, इधर देखिए, ये कोऑप मैचअप के ऊपर कोई भी नहीं चाहेगा कि वो एक ड्रॉ के साथ खत्म करे। एंड स्पेशली इधर तो नहीं चाहेंगे हैदराबाद एफसी, क्योंकि देखिए हैदराबाद एफसी की अगर बात किया जाए, वो ऑलरेडी एक आगे निकल चुके थे। वो अभी बाकी का जो 45 मिनट्स बाकी है सेकंड हाफ, इस सेकंड हाफ के अंदर वो 2 गोल्स एनी हाउ ढूँढने की कोशिश करेंगे। क्योंकि उनके पास एक गोल्डन मौका था जिधर से वो गोल करे
Wow!
और वो उधर से जर्मन क्रॉस एंड फिनिश किए। बेहतरीन जस्ट शुरू हुआ सेकंड हाफ, इक्वलाइजर दाग चुके हैं बेंगलुरु एफसी। जो आगे वो निकले थे कुछ देर के लिए, वो एक बार फिर से सिमिलर पोजीशन पे आ चुके हैं। एंड इवन सिमिलर भी नहीं, इधर मैं तो कहूंगा प्रेशर और भी ज्यादा दुगना हो चुका है, क्योंकि उनके पास अभी सिर्फ एक ही हाफ बचा हुआ है अगर उनको इस रेगुलेशन टाइम के अंदर गेम को खत्म करना है तो।
Such a well-timed cross, and this is exactly the kind of a pocket strat that Hyderabad FC had to implement in order to get back into the game. But now they have to somehow calm down, weather the storm, feel that yes, you cannot just let Bengaluru FC score another one from here. Right now, you've got the equalizer. Try to just slow down the tempo, because Bengaluru FC, right after conceding one, they get ferocious, just like this one. As just when we were telling about the situation, BFC come back and score another one. And yes, CJ and Shagnik make this play look so easy. Just that one pass, splitting through the defense, breaching them out, and Hyderabad FC were just left looking with their jaws wide open.
2-1 Bangalore FC back again. लाइक उनका जो एडवांटेज है वो अभी फिलहाल के लिए बना चुके हैं, लेकिन वही हम लोग जो कह रहे हैं, लाइक फीफा के अंदर एक गोल का फासला कभी भी आपको जो है वो क्वेश्चन प्रोवाइड नहीं करता। तो सेम चीज लाइक इक्वलाइजर आता हुआ दिखा था, हालांकि उसके जस्ट एक झटके पे एक गोल बेंगलुरु एफसी की तरफ से भी इधर किया गया है, बट फिर बेंगलुरु एफसी इधर एक और गोल ढूंढने की कोशिश करेंगे। कैप्टन विया को ऐड किया गया है, तो एक एक्स्ट्रा डिफेंडर कहने के लेके आए हैं बेंगलुरु एफसी। सो हम कह सकते हैं कि फॉर्मेशन में चेंज आता हुआ दिखेगा, या इधर फॉर्मेशन में चेंज हुआ है, 3 डिफेंडर के साथ हम लोगों को देखने के लिए मिल रहा है ये गेम चलते हुए। बट बेंगलुरु एफसी देखिए बहुत क्रूशियल पोजीशन से इधर वो अपना जो बॉल है वो जीतते हुए दिख रहे हैं, और जिस जिस जगह पे पिछली बार गलती हुआ था या फिर पिछले हाफ पे कहने के वो थोड़ा लूज कर रहे थे, वो पोजीशन जो है वो बिल्कुल भी नहीं छोड़ना चाहेंगे। बट बेलिंगम हमेशा हैदराबाद एफसी के लिए बहुत ज्यादा वैल्यू इधर प्रोवाइड करते हुए दिख रहे हैं।
Yeah, I think at this point now, this is again a beautifully triggered run, a similar kind of a routine that they wanted to execute, but that did not happen. Right, this time I think the defense line of Bengaluru FC was well set. They were kind of hoping for similar runs like this, that yeah, Hyderabad FC might try that again, and this time they did not let it go through. But again, Hyderabad FC, now they've figured out, now that that's considering the fact that they know that their strategy has been read well by the opponents, they have to resort to some other measures, pull off some other tricks off their sleeves. But yeah, cannot really afford to give away or lose the ball in the midfield like that, because once you give it to Bengaluru FC, the pressure starts mounting. And that is when I think you could see, right, slowly but surely, there's a run being triggered on that right wing also. But Bengaluru FC resorting to play from that left hand side with R9 would want to perform a few skill moves, decide against it, find a little bit of room with Kylian Mbappe. One pass too many, but stolen at a very
Oh!
important junction, but still poached over. And Van der Sar getting to be the hero of that play, as Hyderabad FC really need a pause desperately at this situation, really need to make a few changes, but that is not going to happen because still Bengaluru FC, so much pressure is being applied by these lads, as with Ruud Gullit to Hakimi, again towards Ruud Gullit on R9, and then you can see the quick flurry of passes, and now a long shot being taken, and it gets converted. This could be lights out for Hyderabad FC, as Bengaluru FC net one in. The sheer quality of that goal. Oh my goodness. These lads are from a whole different planet.
शॉट देखिए इधर 2 गोल का फासला ऑलरेडी बना चुके हैं बेंगलुरु एफसी एंड वी नो वो एक हल्का सा जो हंसी है वो इधर देखने के लिए मिल रहा है सागनी के चेहरे पे एंड विद दैट सागनी को बताएगा इसके बाद जो है उनका गेम है और उनके हाथों पे सब कुछ रहेगा क्योंकि मुझे लग नहीं रहा कि इधर से हैदराबाद एफसी 2 गोल का फासला कवर कर पाएंगे बट ये हैदराबाद एफसी है ये कर भी सकते हैं इसके पहले बहुत बार कर चुके हैं लेकिन इस बार पोजीशन भी अलग है प्रेशर बहुत ज़्यादा है और इस बार लैन है तो मुझे लग रहा है कि प्रॉब्लम्स जो है वो मे बी जो है वो कंटिन्यू होता हुआ दिख सकता है हैदराबाद एफसी के लिए इस कोऑप गेम के ऊपर और अभी के लिए अगर देखा जाए तो 2 गोल से तो ऑलरेडी आगे निकल ही चुके हैं बेंगलुरु एफसी। सो क्या कोशिश रहेगा, क्या प्लान रहेगा हैदराबाद एफसी का, वो इधर देखना होगा ज़रूरी क्योंकि आखिरी कुछ चुनिंदे मिनट्स बचे हुए हैं, ज़्यादा नहीं है। सिर्फ 18 मिनट का गेम बाकी है और ये 18 मिनट में 2 गोल स्कोर करने हैं अगर इक्वलाइज़ करना है इस गेम को।
TT, this is where, the tables have turned. And oh my God, this is going to be an absolute slaughtering fest going on. Beautiful room
माय
and space
गॉड!
created again with Jude Bellingham. Nice pass. And this is pretty much it, right? Bengaluru FC, I do not see a world where they go on to lose this one. But suddenly, I kind of go back into the past where this was a similar situation, right? Bengaluru FC were 3 goals up, and suddenly Genocide and Warsi magic happens. They somehow managed to equalize, and this time we're not going to miss it. And we are in a similar situation over here. 3 goals advantage. Hyderabad FC, can they perform a similar miracle again this time around? If they do that, they will have a major advantage heading into that final game. But seems like there is no stopping the lads of Bengaluru FC, as Hyderabad FC's defense is absolutely all over the place. They're just playing around. Look at how much the defense has been split wide open. And you could see, these are those desperate measures where you kind of resort to having more players on your attack as you are kind of desperate for scoring that one goal, leaving your defense quite exposed.
देखिए आखिरी 10 मिनट बचा हुआ है और ये 10 मिनट के अंदर ज़्यादा कुछ सिनेरियो बनता हुआ दिख नहीं रहा। अगर बन भी रहा है वो सिर्फ बेंगलुरु एफसी की तरफ से ही दिख रहा है क्योंकि वो प्रॉपर प्रॉपर प्रेस करके खेल रहे हैं। वो कोई भी जगह ही इधर नहीं छोड़ना चाहते हैं कि हैदराबाद एफसी लाइक उनके डिफेंस छोड़ के वो अटैक पे भी आ पाए। और इस बार स्लाइडिंग टैकल्स भी देखने के लिए मिलेंगे बट विथ थियो का पोजीशनिंग देखिए लाइक ये कोई गलती है या फिर थियो को एडवांस कराया गया वी डोंट नो मे बी एक क्रॉस के लिए थियो को आगे भेजा गया था बट विथ थियो बट नो बेलिंगम इस बार फ्रॉम द साइड ऑफ बेंगलुरु एफसी बीच से आके इंटरसेप्ट किए जिसके वजह से एक बहुत ज्यादा क्रिटिकल अटैक जो बन रहा था उसको फिलहाल के लिए रोका गया था और इस बार
Oh,
वैन डाइक से गलती हो रहा था लेकिन
ah.
फाइनल टाइम पे वैन डाइक घूमे बचाए और वैन डेसार के सेफ हाथों पे तो आखिरी 4 मिनट आई डोंट थिंक और ये पॉसिबल भी नहीं है मैं थिंक करूं और ना करूं 4 मिनट पे 4 गोल पॉसिबल नहीं है
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen either ways. But all right, Zinedine Zidane has been booked. It's fine. I mean, those dying moments of the game, it's just a yellow card. But yeah, I think right now things have gotten further intensified because with this win in the co-op, we know what's coming. It is going to boil down to a decider between Shagnik and Warsi, as in those dying moments, Erling Haaland did, go for a run, but unfortunately, that was offside.
लास्ट मिनट ऑफ एडेड टाइम एंड उसी के साथ इधर हो चुका है ये मैचअप खत्म और कहीं ना कहीं फिलहाल के लिए क्या मैचअप के जो दो गेम्स थे, पहला गेम 3-2 से हैदराबाद एफसी इधर निकाल के लेके गए, लेकिन जो कोऑप मैच था उस पे इधर बेंगलुरु एफसी 4-1 से एक करारा हार देते हुए हैदराबाद एफसी को। सो इस बार सारा का सारा प्रेशर ऑन वॉर्सी एंड सागने। क्या लगता है फिक्सेस लीग जिस तरीके से ये गेम पे आके कोऑप पे आके पूरा सिनेरियो चेंज होता हुआ दिखा, उसके बाद आपको क्या लगता है कि प्रेशर किसके ऊपर ज्यादा रहेगा?
Right now the momentum has shifted, right? It has gone in the favor of Bengaluru FC once again. A really strong comeback, a 4-1 victory in the co-op matchup goes on to say that Bengaluru FC, they're not going to go down from here. Right, and coming back to the game number three. Now the storylines have also changed, right? Because the last time these two clubs faced off against each other, Bengaluru FC had the lead. Then Hyderabad FC, they kind of changed things completely, right? Because they were 3-0 down in the co-op game, and then they go on to score three goals in the next 10 minutes to equalize, and then Varsi got them that win. But this time, the narrative is completely different. This time, you have Shagnik playing at LAN against his brother Varsi, and now the responsibility rests on these two nimble shoulders over here. Do they have what it takes to carry on the burden? Because let me remind you once again, folks, whichever club loses from this game, their journey in the eISL season 2 ends right here, right now. Whosoever goes on to win this one faces FC Goa in the semi-finals. So pretty sure Bengaluru FC would want to take a dig at FC Goa, but for that they need to get over that final hurdle in the form of Warsi. And from what I know of Warsi, he's a man that never gives up. But then again, we have seen those days where we've seen Warsi collapse, and I hope today is not one of them. I'm pretty sure this matchup is going to be pretty tight, but the first goal is going to be quite decisive to say जो हवा का जो रुख है वो किसके तरफ है, वो आई थिंक हमें फर्स्ट गोल ही बताने वाला है ये तीसरे गेम का. But coming back to this co-op matchup, TT, one thing we witnessed for sure is that till that first half both these teams were looking quite even. What happened in the second half that Bengaluru FC suddenly just walked over Hyderabad FC just like that?
आई थिंक इन सेकंड हाफ बैंगलोर एफसी प्रॉपर्ली स्टडी कर लिए थे कि गलतियां किधर किधर हो रहा था फ्रॉम द साइड ऑफ हैदराबाद एफसी, क्योंकि हैदराबाद एफसी देखिए वो तब तब बहुत अच्छा परफॉर्म करते हैं जब आप थोड़ा स्लो खेलते हो। आप कोऑप के ऊपर एटलीस्ट लेके अगर मैं बात करूँ तो आप कोऑप पे जब भी खेलते हो, आप अगर थोड़ा स्लो हो जाते हो मिडफील्ड के ऊपर, थोड़ा ज्यादा बिल्डअप के लिए जाते हो, तब वो समझ लेते हैं। पिछले बार भी अगर जेनेसिड का आप गेम ऑब्जर्व करेंगे तो उस जगह पे भी हम लोग जेनेसिड को देख पा रहे थे कि जेनेसिड होल्ड कर रहे थे कि बॉल कब आएगा देन जाके हम बॉल छीनेंगे। तो अगर आप बहुत तेज़ी से करते रहते हो ना तो उस टाइम पे आप होल्ड करने का भी उतना मौका नहीं मिलता कि आप प्रॉपर्ली समझो कि हाँ, इस बार बॉल आएगा देन जाके मैं करूँ टैकल। वो करने का मौका नहीं मिल रहा था। और सेम थिंग उसी पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम के ऊपर हम लोगों को बैंगलोर एफसी की तरफ से बहुत सारे लॉन्ग बॉल्स देखने के लिए मिले एंड वो चेंज मेसी की जगह पे कैप्डेविया को लेके आना। मेसी एक क्रिएटिविटी प्रोवाइड करता है, लेकिन अगर आप कैप्डेविया को लेके आते हो देन आपको फिजिक भी प्रोवाइड करेंगे, वो आपको पेस भी देंगे, वो भी विंग से, और जो क्रॉसेस है वो भी ज़्यादा बेटर है। तो वो सब कुछ जब एक साथ आ गया देन 5 एट द बैक हो गए, डिफेंस स्ट्रॉन्ग हो गया, उनको पता था कि इनको विंग्स बैक्स को आगे लेके जा सकते हैं। बार-बार, बार-बार ओवरलैप पे भेजे और उस प्रेशर में कहीं न कहीं इधर कंट्रोल के बाहर चला गया गेम।
What I felt like after the first half, Hyderabad FC, that goal was phenomenal, right? Across coming in from Ronaldinho, and then it went on
हुँ,
to become a goal scored, and that is where I think Hyderabad FC should have stalled a little bit longer there. Like I said, right, they have this tendency to concede right after scoring, something that is also the case
हुँ।
even you've seen with Lokmanya also, because the pressure suddenly gets so intense and the press is so high. And then I felt like, Bengaluru FC just went on high press and they were not giving them that room to breathe for Hyderabad FC. They were so poised in terms of how they were, kind of making their passes and how they were trying to initiate those plays. And that goal by Ruud Gullit, outside the box, goes in for such a fantastic finesse shots, and you kind of just sit back and watch, beauty in the making. And once Bengaluru FC scored that one, I think that is where it was kind of done and dusted. Right after this one, that Ruud Gullit goal comes in, and then the next one, the one they scored with Jude Bellingham. I mean, it was so simply done, right? Nothing much. The defense was split open, and this is where even your confidence sort of shatters, right? But this is it, right? At this point, Varsi does not have time to ponder over his past mistakes. He has to go on a hard reset where Shagnik has just come out of a win. And this is where the land pressure really comes into play. That when you're on the back foot, how do you completely go on a hard reset and suddenly, just rally all your forces together, try to focus on this game? Because one little mistake and Shagnik is going to punish you. And for Shagnik, yes, he knows what needs to be done against his brother. He has studied what happened in that previous matchup. So I'm pretty sure Shagnik has done his homework, just like Genesis did against CJ, and Shagnik is going out for blood tonight.
फॉर श्योर, बट ऑन द अदर हैंड अगर हम लोग अभी तक बात करें तो वॉर्सी देखिए अभी तक ऑनलाइन खेल रहे थे, लाइक ऑनलाइन तो सभी खेल रहे थे, लेकिन वॉर्सी की अगर पिछले मंथ के गेम्स को देखा जाए, लाइक पिछले मंथ जितने भी गेम्स हुए थे लाइक अप्रैल पे, वो सबसे कम गोल कंसीड किए थे सिर्फ सागनिक के ही खिलाफ, जो कि 2 गोल था। उसको छोड़ के एवरेज उनका रहा है 3 गोल उन्होंने कंसीड किया था, और अफनान के खिलाफ वो 6 गोल कंसीड किए थे। तो इससे एक चीज़ तो पता चल रहा है कि जो डिफेंस है वो उतना खास हम लोगों को उतना देखने के लिए मिला नहीं है। वो गोल स्कोर किए ज़रूर, लेकिन आप गोल कंसीड कितने कर रहे हो, वो भी बहुत-बहुत ज़्यादा मैटर करता है। तो उसी जगह पे रह के जिधर सागनी के पास एक्स्ट्रा लाइक कहने के एक्सपीरियंस है लैंड में खेलने का, क्योंकि बहुत लैंड्स खेल चुके हैं और बहुत दिन से वो फीफा सिनेरियो के अंदर है, तो कहीं न कहीं वो एक्सपीरियंस उनके पास आएगा। और उसी के साथ पिछले कुछ दिनों में और जो 6 गोल मैंने बात किया, वो जस्ट रिसेंटली बात हो रहा है, लाइक रिसेंटली उन्होंने 6 गोल कंसीड किए थे।
1 हफ्ते पहले।
और उसी के साथ हाँ, 1 हफ्ते पहले। और आज की अगर बात करें स्पेशली, आज हम देख रहे थे जब इधर जेनेसिड खेल रहे थे, ज़्यादा प्रेशर में लाइक इधर वॉर्सी लग रहे थे। तो कहीं न कहीं जो है, वॉर्सी को अपने प्रेशर को हैंडल करना होगा। वो अगर कामली परफॉर्म कर पाएँगे, मुझे लगता है कि सागनी के खिलाफ शायद बेहतरीन आउटकम जो है वो उनकी तरफ से आ सकता है।
And for that to happen, I think Varsi has to score that first goal. Because if Shagnik does that, then we know he kind of keeps pressing on and kind of sort of adds that insult to your injury, and then rubs on your wounds, and it just gets worse from there. Varsi, yes, we have seen him make the biggest comebacks in the eISL, but you would not want to resort to such measures, especially when you've got your survival on the line. And these two lads are fighters, right? Look at their storyline. How have they come in? And off we go with the decider match, folks, with Bengaluru FC from left to right in their white kits, and Hyderabad FC from right to left in their purple. So let's see what happens as Shagnik, wasting no further time, directly wants to launch an attack and wants to have that early lead. Nice set of passes with Lionel Messi to Kylian Mbappe. Not green timed. It's a crossbar. And there you can see Shagnik trying to assert dominance right from the beginning of this game.
ये शुरुआती में जिस तरीके से अटैक इधर करा जा रहा है सागनी की तरफ से, प्रेशर बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ता हुआ इधर कहीं न कहीं दिखेगा। सो आई थिंक इधर थोड़ा सा डिफेंस के ऊपर ध्यान देना जरूरी है। और डिफेंस की अगर बात करें, ओह नो 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 नो, ये गलती आप नहीं कर सकते। इधर एम्बापे मौका बनता हुआ, क्या वो अंदर जा पाएंगे? नहीं, अभी बच गए, बाल बचे। प्रेशर झलकता हुआ दिख रहा है। प्रेशर देखिए होगा, लेकिन उसको हैंडल भी करना होगा, क्योंकि आप अभी eISL सीजन 2 के एकदम टॉप मंच लाइक प्लेऑफ्स में बैठे हो, तो इधर गलतियों की कोई जगह नहीं है। अगर आप छोटा से भी गलती करते हो, वो आपके लिए बहुत ज्यादा भारी पड़ सकता है।
Yeah, and it's gonna hurt a lot, especially how they've made their way into the playoffs, and this is going to be quite crushing if they face defeat. So Varsi, against all odds, has to win this one. Really needs to calm down, control that midfielder, win those battles over there. Because Shaknik, we could clearly see that he has come out to score and apply that early pressure by getting that one goal advantage to his name. But as things stands, I think Varsi has done a nice recovery. He's trying to slowly build up his play with Ronaldinho, find some room with Lionel Messi. But look at three defenders just charging at his direction. You could see that pressing coming in from Shaknik's side. He is trying to force those tackles out. But this is where I think Varsi has been given a golden chance. He needs to capitalize. I think maybe wanted to go for an elastico and then maybe tried to score. But I think Shagnik sort of read him like an open book as Varsi. This is much better for what we are seeing from his side, right? He's not panicking. He is kind of shuffling the ball, just recycling, constantly making those passes. And there will be a moment where he finds his breakthrough. But that does not happen. But a giveaway by Shagnik.
देखिए कभी कभार हो जाता है लेकिन ये आई डोंट नो कैसे होता है बट हो जाता है कि बॉल पैर से आपका निकल जाता है कंट्रोल करने के बाद भी। बट देखिए इस बार कहने की गलतियां दोनों ही साइड से हो रहा है और ये प्रेशर जो है वो दोनों ही साइड पे रहेगा। जितना भी एक्सपीरियंस हो जाओ देखिए प्रेशर तो रहता है और उस प्रेशर के ऊपर आप कैसे क्या परफॉर्म करोगे वो तो गेम के अंदर ही पता चलता है, क्योंकि दोनों को ही पता है, दोनों के कंधे पे है ये पूरा रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी। जो इधर जीतेंगे वो अपने क्लब को लेके चले जाएंगे सेमीफाइनल के ऊपर। तो लेट्स सी क्या होता है। बट एज ऑफ नाउ टुवर्ड्स एम्बापे, सागनिक ऑन अटैक, बेंगलुरु एफसी ऑन अटैक, बट वो जगह अभी तक मिला नहीं है। रोनाल्डो टू मेसी, मेसी टू बेलिंगम और बेलिंगम इसके पहले बहुत सारे असिस्ट प्रोवाइड करते हुए दिखे। क्या एक बार फिर से टुवर्ड्स रोनाल्डो, बट नहीं, शॉट इधर नहीं लिया गया। थोड़ा होल्ड कर रहे हैं, थोड़ा टाइम ले रहे हैं प्रॉपर फिनिश के लिए, लेकिन एक गलत पास जिसके वजह से बॉल छीनेंगे वॉर्सी और एक बार फिर से बिल्डअप पे जाएंगे इस बार और गोल करना भी चाहेंगे जितना जल्दी हो सके।
Yeah, I think Varsi, after that, first few minutes of hiccups, he's come back really strong into the game. He's controlling the situation right now, and I think feels like Shaknik is playing as a second fiddle over here. And just dancing to Varsi's tunes, but he needs to get over that. He needs to get some control back that he has already started doing in this sort of a play. And you could see, right, he's going for those longer balls. He's trying to switch the play apart, just open up the field a little bit, the midfield. These are those passes that become quite vital, right? When you're going for those driven passes, you need to make sure that your player has beat through that midfielder and he's gone for that run, but that was not the case. And again, could have been a loose ball being given away, but thankfully Shagnik has still kept it on. As from the right wing, an attack has a run had already been made with Ronaldinho. Now let's see what can he make out of this chance, trying for a step over, but instantly defended by Varsi as he wanted to break free for a quick counter attack, but no, Shagnik does not let that happen.
Oh, Shagnik बेहतरीन ड्रिबलिंग किया गया था उस टाइम पीरियड के ऊपर, बट नहीं वो उधर से निकल नहीं पाए। बट ऑन द अदर हैंड अगर अभी के लिए देखा जाए तो एक बेहतरीन लॉन्ग पास खेला जाएगा टुवर्ड्स हकीमी। हकीमी ओवरलैप पे ऑलरेडी रन निकाल चुके थे जिसको प्रॉपर्ली देखा गया, बट इस बार वो एम्बापे बचूडुली उनके फिजिक के सामने अच्छे प्लेयर्स जितना भी क्रिएटिव हो जाए वो फिजिक के सामने टिक नहीं पाते रोडुलित के। और बहुत ही ज़्यादा एंड टू एंड इधर गेम चलता हुआ सागनिक के लिए भी प्रेशर बहुत ज़्यादा बिल्ड किया गया था। कुछ देर के लिए वॉर्सी की तरफ से एक गलत पास, वॉर्सी के पास बॉल कंट्रोल और एक बहुत क्रूशियल पोजीशन पे था, बट वॉर्सी दोनों ही प्लेयर्स गलत पासेस कर रहे हैं, बट कोई भी इधर कैपिटलाइज नहीं कर पाए हैं दूसरे की गलती के ऊपर।
Yeah, at this point, right, Varsi is not giving Shagnik that space to go for those passes on and go for those plays on those wings. As a result, I think we've seen, Shagnik trying to also kind of go for those long passes. Look at how tight Varsi's defense had been. And now for the build-up, he's got to be quite cautious. Nice pass on towards R9 with Ashraf Hakimi again. Look for back pass with R9. With Jude Bellingham. He's looking for that pass on towards Mbappe. If he can manage to get that through, but Shagnik is so well aware. It's already 45 minutes hit, and this is the final attack of this half. And Varsi needs to make it count. trying to keep the ball, but there you go. All right, a foul, a free kick at a very important position. Well, TK, he's done that in the past, but can Varsi do it right now?
वॉटसी कोशिश तो रहेगा करने की। एक पास के साथ शॉट इधर लिया गया था, लेकिन देखिए उसका कुछ ज़्यादा खास आउटकम आया नहीं। रिफ्लेक्शन हुआ एंड उसी के साथ फर्स्ट हाफ एंड होता हुआ दिख चुका है। अभी सेकंड हाफ की बारी और आखिरी 45 मिनट्स द डिसाइडर। कोई भी अगर एक भी गोल स्कोर करते हैं, मुझे लगता है कि उनका जो कॉन्फिडेंस है वो कहीं न कहीं पहुँच जाएगा पहाड़ के ऊपर। बट अगर जो लाइक गोल कंसीड करेंगे उस जगह पे, उनका कॉन्फिडेंस किधर जाके गिरेगा, वी डोंट नो। क्योंकि आखिरी 45 मिनट्स में जब सारा सिनेरियो आ जाता है ना, तब प्रेशर दुगना, तिगना, चौगुना भी हो जाता है।
You can see now, both these players just trying to boost the teammates up, right? CJ, it was a short talk. I think Shagnik knows exactly what needs to be done, and Genesid has had a rather longer one. And Varsi has to fight against all odds, has to find a way where he can find those cracks in Shagnik's defense and get that first goal. And the same can be said for Shagnik as well as the commencement of the second half. Hyderabad FC trying to build up an attack. So far, Varsi has really done a good job in kind of just taking that advantage away from Bengaluru FC after their win in that co-op matchup. Just when we were thinking that the momentum is in their favor, it does not feel like that anymore. Now, this is the right chance for Hyderabad FC to score that opening goal. Or maybe it also could be Shagnik. But if you ask me who's been the better player amongst the both right now, has certainly been Varsi with how calm and composed he's been looking. But it does not come down to that unless and until you score a single goal, right? That's the something that Varsi has failed. But Shagnik, well, he was en route. He could have tried and gone in, but no. Varsi's defense is so tight. He's not getting that space to try to get inside the box. Now, this is where both these players have to think of other avenues to score. This is where both of them have to channel that inner Imad, go for those Trivelas, go for the shots. But now this looks closer than ever for Shagnik. Just when we thought that maybe he could go for a pass, went in for a shot, but not the best of angles as Varsi has successfully defended against him.
एज ऑफ नाउ कोई भी विंग से अटैक हम लोगों को नहीं देखने के लिए मिला है सागनिक की तरफ से। सागनिक बार बार ट्राई कर रहे हैं कि वो सेंट्रली अटैक कर पाए एंड मे बी उसका एक कारण हो सकता है कि वॉर्सी के जो अटैक्स आ रहे हैं उसको रोकने के लिए उनके जो विंग बैक्स है उनको स्ट्रेट द बैक का इंस्ट्रक्शंस दिया गया है। लेकिन अगर वो थोड़ा ओवरलैप पे भेजते हैं, डू और डाई सिनेरियो हो जाता है, देन जाके हो सकता है कि वॉर्सी के डिफेंस को आप तोड़ पाओ। और अगर आपके विंग बैक्स नहीं भी जा रहे हैं, फिर भी आपके जो राइट मिडफील्डर्स है उनको आप भेज दीजिए। क्योंकि अभी के लिए तो 4-4-2 का फॉर्मेशन देखने के लिए मिल रहा है, जिधर दो स्ट्राइकर्स एम्बापे एंड रोनाल्डो के साथ खेलते हुए दिख रहे हैं और मिडफील्ड पे लेफ्ट मिडफील्ड पे खेलते हुए दिख रहे हैं लियोनेल मेसी। सो काफी ज्यादा इंटरेस्टिंग कहने की फॉर्मेशन के साथ इधर आगे बढ़ते हुए बेंगलुरु एफसी और ऑन द हैंड हैदराबाद एफसी। एक गलत पास बट इस बार बहुत शानदार काउंटर पे निकल चुके हैं बेंगलुरु एफसी का ये ट्रेन। क्या बेंगलुरु एफसी जाके अपने बॉल को पहुंचा पाएंगे बैक ऑफ द नेट? और नहीं, क्या देखना होगा, एक जमल क्रॉस कोशिश वैन डाइक किधर आ चुके हैं, डिफेंस में कोई नहीं है। क्या होगा, क्या ये बॉल पहुंचा पाएंगे? बट तब तक देखिए वैन डाइक पहुंच चुके हैं।
Oh my goodness, I'm kind of having this nail biter scenario going on with me right now. I clearly cannot differentiate these two players at this moment, but this is a golden chance for Varsi. No way! Still in play with Kylian Mbappe. Needs to find some room. Does not get it with Ronaldinho. Opts for Jude Bellingham. Passes it on towards R9. And a chance thrown out of the window. This is the closest Varsi could have gotten to score. And Shagnik has survived this one. And he needs to punish Varsi for such atrocity.
जिस पोजीशन से ये मिस किया गया है वार्सी की तरफ से, वार्सी बहुत ज्यादा नाखुश होंगे। बट सागनिक, ये बात तो कहना होगा वो खुश नसीब है, वो लकी है कि ये गोल कंसीड वो नहीं किए, क्योंकि अगर इधर कंसीड कर जाते, क्योंकि अभी तक देखिए सागनिक की तरफ से वैसा कोई थ्रेटनिंग अटैक दिखा नहीं है जो कि वोरसी की तरफ से देखने के लिए मिला है। वोरसी बार बार अपने विंग्स को इधर कहने के इन्वॉल्व कर रहे हैं अपने गेम के अंदर, और जब आप देख रहे हैं कि विंग के ऊपर प्लेयर्स ऑलरेडी मौजूद है, देन जाके वो सेंट्रली बॉल लेके आ रहे हैं, तो वो क्रिएटिविटी, वो वर्सेटैलिटी कहने की देखने के लिए मिल रहा है। बट ऑन द अदर हैंड सागनिक की अगर बात करें, वो सेंट्रल अटैक के ऊपर बहुत ज्यादा डिपेंडेंट है। तो वो सेंट्रल अटैक को आपको कहने के जो है वो निकाल के विंग्स के ऊपर लेके जाना होगा। अगर आप लेके जाते हो तो मौका मिल सकता है, बट इस बार वोरसी बहुत शानदार तरीके से एंट्री ले चुके हैं। हो सकता है उनका ये पहला गोल।
Wow!
कॉर्नर, हैदराबाद एफसी एक पैर रखते हुए सेमीफाइनल के तरफ, और अगर ये स्कोर लाइन रहे तो सेमीफाइनल पे क्वालिफाई भी कर जाएंगे।
Now, this is exactly the style of play that Varsi needed to execute. He's not been going for those cutbacks, but the moment he did that, we felt like, yes, this chance could have been squandered, but no. He decided that he needs to keep his calmness. He needs to maintain that composure. And that is such a difficult angle to score. Took his chance with Kylian Mbappe, one of the best cards in the game. And it beats the keeper, splits the defense apart, and there you could see CJ. He is facing defeat. He's getting ever close to it. For the first time, you can see CJ and Shagnik feeling the brunt because it's just merely 15-16 minutes remaining. And if they do not come back into this, well, everything goes falling down for them. You could see the tremors that have been created by Hyderabad FC, where they are looking forward to crushing over Bengaluru FC. A huge upset already that can happen. All that Shagnik needs to do over here is score that equalizer and then try to push it to extra time. But so far, Warsi, ladies and gentlemen, had been the better player. And this is the camaraderie. Look at how they are talking to each other, constantly boosting each other up. That one play that Warsi did, that made all the difference there. Now, time for Bengaluru FC to start making their prayers because only a miracle from Shagnik can save them from brinks of the defeat right now.
Only 16 minutes to go, और 16 मिनट के अंदर वो इक्वलाइजर दागना होगा अगर गेम को एक्स्ट्रा टाइम पे लेके जाना है तो। बट रोनाल्डिनियो टुवर्ड्स एम्बापे, शॉट लेना था उधर, बट वो एक एक्स्ट्रा पास के लिए गए, बट अभी भी खतरा नहीं टला, मौका बना हुआ है। बेंगलुरु एफसी अभी भी गेम में वापस आता हुआ एंड फिक्सेस आखिरी 6 मिनट। क्या आपको लगता है कि ये रेगुलेशन टाइम के अंदर ही विनर आ जाएगा?
I think this is going for a penalty shootout. I'm telling you, I don't think this is going to get settled in the extra time. I mean, Varsi did everything. You could see he went out for PAPL, he got his men down, but those changes, you get in aloe vera and you get that burst of pace. You've got the other players as well, and he kind of just split through the defenses. Again, a very central box-to-box attack being initiated by Shagnik, but this time, he knew exactly what needed to be done. An outside footer shot there, and Jared is like, "भाई, कुछ तो कर ले, जिता दे बस." यही विनती है मेरी तेरे से, and do something, figure it out what needs to be done, because at this point, even the best of FIFA minds kind of tend to lose their calm. And you could see how intense has this match gotten in, folks. I'm pretty sure it's just the start. So many more matches waiting. So make sure you call all your friends up because we are in for a cracker of a night tonight. And well, off we go. Just mere 12 minutes remaining before the full-time whistle. TT, this is as closer as it gets. Both the players are on the precipice and somebody is going to push the other off. Their dreams shattered of making it to the semis.
अभी तक वोरसी दिखे थे कमबैक करते हुए, लेकिन आज मौका था सागनिक के पास कि वो कमबैक करके दिखाए। और कमबैक स्टोरी पे पहला लाइन इधर लिख दिया जा चुका है। क्लाइमेक्स शायद अभी भी बाकी है। आखिरी 8 मिनट का गेम और ये 8 मिनट सबसे ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट 8 मिनट में से होने वाले हैं दोनों ही प्लेयर्स के इस पूरे फीफा कैरियर के अंदर। बट एज ऑफ नाउ लेफ्ट हैंड साइड से भी थियो हर्नांडेज ओवरलैप पे भेजा गया था। परसोडुली बिल्डअप धीरे-धीरे किया जा रहा है, लेकिन बॉल इधर वो देंगे, इंटरसेप्ट किया गया था सागनिक की तरफ से। डे ब्रुयने को यूज़ किया जा रहा है। मे बी टीम ऑफ द ईयर डे ब्रुयने होगा, क्योंकि टीम ऑफ द सीजन एंड टीम ऑफ द ईयर पे रेटिंग में तो सारा कुछ चेंजेस हुआ नहीं है। बट इस बार काफू को लेके आया गया है राइट बैक के ऊपर, और देखिए फुल बैक्स को इस बार अटैक पे इन्वॉल्व किया जा रहा है फ्रॉम द साइड ऑफ सागनिक। बट अभी भी बॉल मौजूद। केविन डे ब्रुयने टुवर्ड्स अलोवारेन, रुडुलित, एम्बापे, सागनिक अटैक पे, पीछे थे 1-0 से 2-1 करके इधर अपना जगह कहीं ना कहीं सेमीफाइनल के ऊपर ठोस तरीके से बनाता हुआ, क्योंकि जो आखिरी मिनट बचा हुआ है बहुत मुश्किल है उधर से कम बैक करना और इक्वलाइजर दागना।
Yeah, I mean, at this point, Shagnik's supremacy prevails in the final 15 minutes. He's not just gone on to score the equalizer, but could be a potential winner as well. All he needs to do is just rally his forces behind, stay on the defense, do not let Varsi go through. Because Genesis, you could feel the horrors of defeat in front of both of them, but still he is trying to boost Varsi up, and one chance is all Varsi gets, and he needs to make it a bullseye. And only then do we see that extra time. But look at that space. I mean, ever since Varsi has scored that one goal, his defense kind of looked a little loose, and that is where, Shagnik did press in, hurt him, and now he is just about to throw his brother off from that mountain that they have both climbed together. And there you go, the final whistle gets blown, and Bengaluru FC, folks, have gone on, qualified to the semi-finals, as it was a battle down to the wire. But Hyderabad FC, this is as far as they could have gotten, and their journey ends here tonight. A match that nobody shall forget. A match that boiled down. Tension, the nervousness, the drama was all there. But it was that one club that could only go ahead, and it was Bengaluru FC. What a game it was, TT.
What a game it was. यूजुअली हैदराबाद एफसी कमबैक करते हुए दिखे थे इस पूरे एंटायर सीजन के अंदर, बट जब उनको जीतने की जरूरत था सबसे ज्यादा उस जगह पे, उनके खिलाफ कमबैक हो गया। और सागनिक अपना एक्सपीरियंस वो इधर एक बार फिर से दिखाए कि क्यों हम लोग उनके एक्सपीरियंस के बारे में इतना ज्यादा बातें कर रहे थे। टेंशन माहौल था सेकेंड हाफ तक, फर्स्ट हाफ में तो कोई गोल हुआ ही नहीं था, सेकेंड हाफ में जाके एक गोल हुआ, और ऐसे मोमेंट पे हुआ जिधर शायद लग रहा था कि शायद यही एक गोल जो है वो डिफरेंस क्रिएट कर सकता है दोनों क्लब्स के बीच में। बट जस्ट गोल कंसीड करने के बाद 1 से 2 मिनट के अंदर सागनिक का वो प्रेशर, फुल बिल्डअप, बीच से अटैक किए, बीच से निकाल के लेके गए रोनाल्डिनियो का फिनिश किए। इक्वलाइजर आने के बाद कहीं ना कहीं मानो उनके अंदर वो कॉन्फिडेंस आ गया, और वो कॉन्फिडेंस उनको ड्राइव करा के लेके गया उनके सेकंड गोल की तरफ। और उसी के साथ इस सीजन के अंदर देखिए बहुत सरप्राइजेस देखने के लिए मिला है, और ये उनमें से एक है। बहुत सारे इंपॉर्टेंट कमबैक्स देखने के लिए मिले हैं, बट उनमें से सबसे ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट कमबैक शायद यही था।
Yeah, when it all mattered, Shagnik proved his mettle to the world, but two contrasting emotions in the studio that you can see how much it mattered to the boys from Hyderabad FC. This is the first time they made it to the playoffs, and it was such an arduous journey, and still getting away, going ahead of all those treacherous opponents they had against them, still managing to make it to the playoffs. And now, just when they were one step closer to victory, those two goals, that is going to be haunting Varsi for a lot of nights to come, to be honest. And when it mattered, that collapse and Shagnik, you have to give it to that lad. The sheer cojones on him, right? At almost that 75th minute, when you know you're a goal down, and then going for a reset, coming back with scoring two. This is where that LAN experience matters. This is where Shagnik has bested Varsi and at the highest stages ever possible, and has carved his way through to the semi-finals. FC Goa, the boys need to watch out, because Bengaluru FC, they are looking absolutely impressive, nigh unstoppable over here. Because just when we thought after Genocide taking down Charanjot, it was that co-op matchup where Bengaluru FC just turned everything around and into that final decider match, when Varsi almost was this close to securing his berth in the semis. No, says Shagnik. Nah, and turns it, flips the table, and Bengaluru FC cruise through, qualify through into the semis. And what a game it was, folks. And to be honest, it literally took the majority of my emotions out. So many matches more, out there. But I'm, kind of really interested to hear what's going on in the mind of these players, because this was mentally exhausting. I must tell you, because for Bengaluru FC, this definitely not wasn't one of those easier fixtures, because it was one of the highest pressure scenarios, and they somehow managed to scrape their way to victory. TT, what a match.
या और उनके इंडिविजुअल कहीं ना कहीं जो रिवेंजेस थे वो ले चुके हैं EISL सीजन 2 के अंदर, क्योंकि इसके पहले जब जेनेसिड भी रहे थे सीजे के खिलाफ तब सीजे जीते थे, एंड साग्निक भी रहे थे वॉर्सी के खिलाफ तब वॉर्सी जीते थे। तो इधर अपना अपना इंडिविजुअल रिवेंजेस तो ले ही चुके हैं, एंड उसी के साथ कहीं ना कहीं गो ऑफ गेम पे सब कुछ इधर डिसाइड होता हुआ देखने के लिए मिला। बट फिक्सेस एक बार कहने के मैं बहुत एक्साइटेड भी हूँ और जानना भी चाहता हूँ कि उनके दिमाग में भी क्या चल रहा है प्लेयर्स के।
Of course, we would all want to know that revenge is a dish best served cold, and Shagnik has done that tonight. But let's head over to Suyash, who is now in a conversation with the players from Bengaluru FC.
Well, guys, I'm just about getting my breath back. I can't even imagine what's happened to these players over here. It's been a roller coaster of a knockout one. Sagnik, you came out on trumps in the end against your brother, who you played with, I beg your pardon, the last season. First of all, tell me how you're feeling right now.
Yeah, I'm really over the moon to clutch this up for our team, but I'm feeling a little sad for Varsi because we are really close, like we are like brothers, as you said. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's a game, and I think I played well, and yeah, I deserved the win, I think.
CJ, I want to come to you now. In the first 1v1 game, roller coaster, you couldn't get over the line. All faith in your teammate over here?
Yep, it had to be all faith on him. But yeah, Sid played really well in the first. Like, it was like a 50-50 game. Could have gone either ways. Could have gone my way. It went his way. It's fine. But yeah, he clutched up in the end. But we clutched up in the co-op as well, because, if we lost the co-op, the game was done by then. So yeah, clutching up was really crucial for us. And commiserations to Varsi and Sid. Both are like very close to us. So yeah, but yeah, it had to be like one winner. So one had to go.
And we saw a lot of discussions between the both of you. What was happening between the both of you? What were you telling him and what were you telling him?
During the 1v1, I was just telling him to stop giving away the ball at sometimes, because during the 50th to 70th minute phase when Varsi scored, he was giving away the ball a lot in the defense. So once he conceded, I think he got in the mind he was not keeping the ball in the defense. He started going in the attack. Then he scored too. So that's what I told him, to not just give away the ball cheaply in the defense.
And now, Sagnik, you have a match against FC Goa coming up. What's the frame of mind going to be for that one?
Yeah, so let this sink in for a bit. I am not thinking about Goa right now. We'll have a few drinks and then we'll think about it. So yeah, let's see. I mean, I'm quite excited to play with Goa, honestly. Let's see how it works out. Hopefully we win.
Well, all the best for the next game, guys. And as you can see, it was a roller coaster of a game. Commiserations, of course, to Hyderabad FC, who came so close. Varsi taking the lead in the last game, but unfortunately couldn't get over the line. For BFC, it's against FC Goa in the next game. Coming up is Kerala Blasters versus Mumbai City FC in Knockout 2 on the Indian Super League YouTube channels, of course, the eISL Gaming YouTube channel, and the channels of the respective clubs as well. It's back to you, casters.
I'm pretty sure, their throats had already been parched, and we are in a similar situation. I'm not gonna lie. This did boil down to that final, goal, that winner that Vasi, in fact, Shagnik scored. And yes, it's going to be quite daunting for Vasi and Genesis both. It was such an intense matchup, but it had to be one of them, and it was Bengaluru FC, and a big hurdle. In fact, the biggest hurdle for Bengaluru FC on their way to the grand finals. They have to face against FC Goa, a club that hasn't been beaten even once during the league stages. Northeast United FC got ever so close, but still could not cripple them over. But that being said, folks, this was just the first fixture. We have many for you, more for you, but we will be back right after this short little break.